So what about RFK Jr. is in the news right now because he's running for president on a Democratic side. Have you heard or have you been even watching anything on him? I feel like he came out of left field because I didn't even know he was a senator or whatever he is, right? And that he's all of a sudden running against Biden in 2024. What do you think?
Um, I mean, I'm not a big politics person, but I guess it's going to be that season
We have to
for the
talk about it.
presidential, right? Just quick disclaimer: I don't care for Democrat or Republican. For Democrats, it looks like someone wants to challenge Biden, and that is Bobby Kennedy Jr. Let me just pull up an article here. Of course, it's going to be from Fox News, uh, showing that he's already pulling up to 19%.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So that should warrant a debate at least, right?
That warrants him running and for people to take him serious because you're only going to go up from 19%. You're only going to, especially debating, which we know is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If he didn't debate Trump and he didn't debate other people in his own party, he's not going to debate Kennedy. And I think Kennedy's running off the whole thing that maybe his name has some weight to it, which it will. A lot of people are going to be, I don't want to say, millennials or, I think the older crowd, the boomers, are gonna know the name and they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, let's see what he has to say. What are his ideas?" I'm with you. Like, quick disclaimer as well. Like, I don't care which side. I care, if you want to make our lives easier, like the middle class and help out, the poor in our country and help homelessness and all that. I'm for that, but I'm not for you making billionaires into more money and making millionaires into billionaires. So I'm all about helping each other out. And if he's has some good points, I mean, I don't see a problem not voting for him. But like I said to you earlier, like I have no idea what he's running on, like what his stance are. I guess we're not going to get there until he starts, going on the campaign runs and get in front of people and shaking hands, kissing babies, right?
Yeah. At least have a conversation. I want to hear it, at least with President Biden, because this country doesn't look too hot right now.
We look horrible. We look bad.
We look really bad.
We're a joke to a lot of people. But that's fine.
I mean, Biden came in because people didn't want Trump. It was like anyone but Biden. I get that.
Anyone but Trump at the time.
I'm sorry, rather anyone but Trump. Then you have Biden in. Now we're looking at high inflation, war in Europe. The US dollar is probably not going to be the dominant currency in the world. So there's all these issues that President Biden's going through, and our lives are not getting any easier.
Not at all. Not at all.
And we're on the doorstep of recession, if there is one.
Correct.
By the end of 2023, let's see if that turns out. But I mean, okay, then we're going to have another challenger for the Democratic Party saying, dude, I can do better than you. You're making the Democrats look bad with your policies.
But that divides your own party, right?
Or it could strengthen it.
If they all rally behind Kennedy. But it's funny. I want to go back to what you just said. Anyone but Trump. The world, or at least here in America, people thought they wanted to get rid of Trump because he's the one that's going to take us to war, right? And that Biden was going to bring peace. Fast forward 2 years, Biden took us to war, got rid of peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real thing. Like, Americans were scared we were going to go into war, so let's not pick Trump. But in reality, when we had Trump, I don't know if saying that the world was scared of Trump or scared of what we were capable of. He was bossy, he was in your face, but I kind of like that as someone that's, representing your country. Yeah, he was a jerk, supposedly, and that grab him by the, slogan trademark. Yeah, he screwed up, but everyone screws up. Everyone has skeletons. I mean, Biden has a ton of skeletons that the media doesn't want out, but we know there's little bits of it. He's not perfect by a long shot. There's so many times he says he did something and he didn't, right? The whole thing about graduating top in his class in law school when in reality he finished towards the bottom, saying that he graduated all these honors and that was a lie. It was debunked. There's a lot on his resume as well that doesn't look good, but it's just going back to your point. Like, everyone but Trump. But do you think that's going to be the same narrative coming up? Anyone but Biden.
Oh, yeah, that could come up because I don't know. My standard of life is diminished. I'm a millennial, so of course I'm in that lost generation where
Yep.
we're having fewer kids, we can't afford things, can't even get a house. Majority of us, right? So, and people vote emotionally,
Correct.
right, based on their current circumstances. So with Biden, I really don't think he has much of a chance. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Again, I'm not for or against Biden. It's just, what are my options? Because last presidential run, I was like, oh, great.
This is all we have?
This is all we have? Really?
Yep. I know, I felt the
these
same
are
way.
the best two guys we could come up with? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't vote.
I wasn't too disappointed though with Trump though on the Republican side, because you don't get, it's like Jorge Masvidal said, you don't get rid of a winning coach. We were winning, and as a whole we were winning. I know people are going to say we weren't, and these are my hardcore Democrat friends that tell me Trump was the worst president ever. I'm like, according to who and what are you reading? Like I was doing well under Trump. Like I don't know what you guys were doing. And now under Biden and all this, it's just way more division. It's way more heat, And if I don't believe in what you're saying, then I'm automatic against you. Like, come on, dude. Like, I'm not against you. I just don't believe what you're saying, but I also don't believe what they're saying. I'm in the middle. I'm Switzerland. Like, let me get my facts. Let me see what's going on. Then we'll talk.
Trump has been warning us about China.
He has.
And look where China is. They're
Yes.
they're trying to have their currency be the dominant currency with trade,
Which would hurt
around
us.
the world. They're opening up more manufacturers and shipping ports
Yes.
around the world.
Yes.
They're doing this under Biden.
They wouldn't be able to do that under Trump. They weren't doing it under Trump.
They weren't. There was a pause. China had a huge pause on things when Trump was around. But when it was under Barack Obama, they're steaming. They're going through. They're trucking along with their plans because they can play the long game. China can play the long game.
Yes, I
The
can.
U.S. is all about short term.
Instant gratification is America.
Exactly. You said it right.
Instant gratification. It's just like social media and anything else. We want it now.
Right away.
We don't want to wait. Just like all these people in the stock markets and the day traders, they want to make the money now, and they're looking at charts, and it's like that. Even on social media, like you're looking at every 5 minutes, how many likes do you have? Oh, do you have any more subscribers? And like, just let it go. Play the long game. You're doing, let the chips ride.
And China knows that our kryptonite in a capitalist society is our obsession with money, greed. They just exploited that.
Yeah, we are
Like,
greedy.
Take your factory over to China. It'll be cheaper to produce. You'll make more money. China's having more employees. You just got rid of hundreds, if not thousands, of American employees are out of
Hundreds
a
of
job.
thousands
They have
of
to
jobs,
look for a
tons
new
of jobs,
job.
a lot, millions of jobs. Even you could say that. You
Yeah.
think about the industries that you're talking about. A lot of jobs, right?
Yep.
But I think we should always send those jobs and strengthen our relationship with like Mexico.
Oh, we could have had a chance of a strong North America.
A strong ally in Mexico too. We're strengthening them because they're part of our continent, North American continent. Why wouldn't we want to get cheap? It is cheaper labor because their cost of living is way worse than ours. Build up their factories, build up the relationship. They like us, this and that, and help get rid of their violence and stuff. But I know we're going down a rabbit hole going through this and that. But your point with China is you're right. Trump warned us about China.
And that's all China took. They identify who's the owner, who's the CEO. Let me make you richer. Do business with us.
Correct. And it screws everyone else up.
So, what do you do with China from there? Is Biden doing anything really?
Biden will not do anything against China. They're in bed together. So is it bad? Is it good? I don't know. We don't know because the collapse of the dollar is something we've never seen. We've seen depression. We've seen recessions. We've seen inflation. We've never seen the dollar collapse in our lifetime or in America, right? We've never been Venezuela. We've never had to go. It's going to be a different frontier. Everyone's like bracing for a recession, depression. You have no idea if that dollar collapse, which it can, That's a new low.
It's a huge new low.
Just hope you have a gun. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, protect yourself.
Yeah, there will be violence. There will be violence.
I mean, where do you go from here? I mean, I guess we're gonna have to pick another candidate who's not Biden, because Biden's not doing much about it. I don't hear him do much. He doesn't
No,
make enough
he doesn't
speeches
show
about
us.
it.
Actions speak louder than words, right? Mm-hmm. He's not showing us. He's not showing his hand.
I have not heard Biden talk about the debt. I haven't talked about the U.S. currency. Business
You're right.
with
He's
China.
never talked about the dollar at all. You're right.
Not enough. I think he has, but not enough. Like,
See, that's
what
something
is your
Trump
plan?
would be talking about, right? Trump talks about everything.
Well, for the Republican candidate, is it going to be Trump or is it going to be DeSantis?
That's I'm torn. I'm really torn on that because the reason why I'm torn, not that I'm a Republican or anything, but I think the Democrats want DeSantis to win because they can beat DeSantis. They can't beat Trump. I don't think they can beat Trump. I think Trump comes in.
Well, they did beat him last election cycle.
But this reminds me of Rocky fighting Clubber Lang for the second time. Now he knows his enemy. Now he knows his strengths. See, Trump was all, oh, I'm the president, I'll get reelected, taking it easy, boxing at these Hollywood gyms instead of in the sweatshops like Clubber Lang did. And then here he comes, the hungrier person came in and took his breakfast. So I think Trump knows now what to do, and he has a lot of firepower. He has a lot that he can go off of. There's a lot of pressure points he can do. But I think if DeSantis wins, which I don't think, I'll tell you right now, I think we're headed to a Trump-Biden rematch because it's scripted, I think this is like the drama we need. So whatever they're really doing, finding aliens in other worlds or whatever, to keep us away from knowing that stuff, I think it's already going to be, the headlines. Think of the headlines. The media is going to salivate on Trump versus Biden too.
So I have here is that DeSantis is expected to announce his run in May. We're filming right now, April 30th, last day of April. So by the time this recording goes out there, it'll be May. But what could be is a Trump DeSantis. Like DeSantis could be VP.
No, they don't get along. They don't like each other.
Yeah, but they could identify that their combined forces could be enough to be in the presidential. Because Trump could be like, I can only do one more term. You'll be vice president.
And then you can take over.
And then you could take over next election run, and I'll support you. This is the deal.
It would make sense because Kamala Harris being the VP came out of nowhere. She was calling out Biden. Remember in the debates?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she didn't like him. So I could see something like this.
Right. They combine forces.
You have
mentioned.
You have to get Trump to sign off on it. Could he? Yeah, you could sell it to him like, you're both really strong on the Republican side. Mm-hmm. Imagine if you're together, united.
Right.
You don't have to see each other because technically they're not supposed to be at the same place, same time. Mm-hmm. He has Air Force One. DeSantis could go on Air Force Two, and they can run their own little, whatever jobs they have to take care of and never see each other. I think Trump could sign off on that. It depends on his ego too. Trump is very egotistic. Let's be honest.
100%.
Very egotistic. Thinks he's a playboy. Let's be honest. If he didn't have those billions of dollars from his family, he's not the guy he is today.
He's a my way or the highway. Under his presidency, there was a lot of turnover.
Yes.
So many people quit under him.
Yes. Very arrogant. Yeah, but he got stuff done. He said things that a lot of people wish a president would say to other people, right?
Oh, he has no filter.
He's no filter. He's like America first, which I liked. The MAGA part became too, I don't know if it's the media or somewhere down the line it became white supremacist kind of. Like MAGA was a bad term, and it's like, okay, push back on that. He probably just meant let's make America great again, but then again, when wasn't it great? Like I think it's great right now. We still have, like, compared to the rest of the world, we're great right now. Like those arguments that make America great again, like for who? Like, give us the history of what you're talking about. But I get both sides because you got to look at it like Switzerland. Like we always talk, we're Switzerland. Like let's hear both sides of the story, and then make a conclusion from both sides. Both sides are real passionate. My right wing friends are real passionate, and they have great points. My left-wing friends, God bless them, they have some great points, but they're both freaking stubborn. To bring them to a table and break bread is the hardest thing. And having friends on both scopes, it's like being two different people sometimes, right? I identify like more like a libertarian, but not libertarian. Like, I don't care what you do. Just if we want to be friends, let's just be friends. Let's talk about stuff. You don't want to talk about religion and politics? Cool. There's so much we can talk about besides that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be a preacher and Bible thumper and tell you about Christianity. If that's what, I'm a Christian. I identify as a Christian. And I go to Bible study during the week, and I go to church on Sundays, or nowadays we are able to watch it if you can't get to church. But I don't sit here and tell you my religion is the right way by no scope of it. I'm not perfect, but it's for me. That's how I identify, and I'm not going to like you more if you're Muslim, Catholic, Mormon, whatever. I'm not going to pick a Christian over you just because of religion either. Just like I wouldn't pick someone, based off of what party they identify as, right? Because people can switch parties anytime they want, and I feel like my voting history, not that anyone needs to know, it's abacadabra all the way down. It's like, boom, I like this guy, I like this girl. Let me tell you a story though too. It's weird because like, if you don't identify, like on some of these primaries, they don't let you vote Republican and Democrat, right? You have to pick one or the other. It's like, well, I don't identify as either. Like, you guys know that. And they're like, well, pick one. And I'm like, ugh. So I'll let my wife do the Republican one and I'll do the Democrat one, or vice versa. But I just think that's kind of weird. But then it makes sense at the same time, because the way they told me was you can bring in a bunch of Republicans and vote Democrat and not vote for that Democrat person that's supposed to win. So
Yeah. I mean, I want to vote on the individual. I could care less if you're a Republican, Democrat,
I don't
Green, Libertarian, Independent.
No, I'm too old now. My whole life is I want to go on easy street, with work and family and soccer commitments, coaching and stuff. Like, I meet so many different people on so many spectrums and their viewpoints and stuff. I'm cool. Let me be a sponge and hear you out. Awesome. My viewpoints, like, I'm just here to hang out. I'm just here to make friends. I'm just here to have a good time, because at the end of the day, none of this matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It drives me crazy when people are so passionate with their side that you're trying to have a get together and then bring up politics.
Game over.
I know, and it's frustrating. Like, man, you know what? I'm going to bring up my wonky religion and tell you about how awesome our punch is, and that it's to die for. That's how good our punch is.
Yeah. It's just like those guys at Waco.
Yeah. Like, why bring it up? It's going to upset someone.
It can, but there's a lot of times that, I listen, I like both sides. Both have good views. And there's some things I don't like on both sides, right? Like, I don't like the division. Plain and simple. I don't like people being divided. I don't like you not liking someone just based off of like reading a card and, oh shoot, they're Democratic or they're Republican, so I don't like them right away. And then you meet them, you right away don't like them. But what if they were a cool person? They could be your new BFF or something, right? You just never know. And that's what sucks about our society is we identify with a group and that's all we want. It's just like sports teams, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, if I'm an Eagles fan, I hate the Cowboys. Right? Like, well, I think everyone hates the Cowboys, but back to my point, like, ASU fan, you hate U of A, right? Mm-hmm. Some people take that to extremes.
They do.
Which is crazy. Like NFL games, like, I stopped going to NFL games because there's always fights. Yeah. People getting drunk, and they're always getting fights. And
why bring your kids? Why bring your kids?
There's no, it's tough. It's tough to take kids to an NFL game nowadays, especially like, towards the end of the game, fourth quarter, they're done doing beer sales. Those fights break out. You're like, whoa. And it makes you, I think they're hilarious sometimes. There's some like fights that I've seen and I'm like, wow, that's a good punch. And there's something like, ooh, that dude just hit a girl.
Yeah, they swung, missed, and hit someone else.
Or hit someone else or an old person or something. And that sucks. Then
and they're charges. People pulling them apart, but those guys are still coming towards each other. They break loose. They run into people in that path.
And they hit someone or hit a kid. Oh, God forbid someone hits my son, dude. It's game over.
Well,
or
We
my
will
daughter.
probably see it on the news where a fight breaks out and a kid is involved. Then we're gonna have new restrictions, regulations, and stuff at these sporting events. It's just a matter of time because we're seeing these fights now.
Yeah.
We're looking at it like, oh, funny, ha ha ha.
But I think it's more NFL than any other sport.
You know, it happened at Suns games before.
Yeah, but
Remember
yeah.
Suns and four?
Yeah, Sons
Remember
of
that fight?
My daughter has that T-shirt. That guy's famous because of that.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Suns is here.
He's-
But it's just sporting events like
Yeah,
basketball.
alcohol gets involved. Someone's wearing the wrong jersey.
Yeah, they want to talk crap to them, and then you get these fights that break out. Like, really? Like, is that really worth it?
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, I went to a Dodgers game and I was wearing blue, Dodger blue. Me and my wife went with a couple of friends that live there because we go to California a lot, and everyone's wearing. It's a different demographic at a Dodgers game if you've never been. It's a lot of Hispanics, a lot of blue, a sea of blue, and there's one guy wearing a red Cardinals jersey. Mm-hmm. The names, the slangs, they were just killing this guy. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he stayed past the third inning. I mean, he was being yelled at, made fun of, and it got pretty bad. It got pretty bad.
That's the thing. Like,
And he's just minding his own business. His team's in town. He probably moved there from St. Louis, and he's excited and didn't realize that he was going to get beat up on by all these, Dodger fans.
yeah, that, and there's people who are retired and they follow their team.
Yeah.
And when they go to the away games, they get mistreated. It's like, come on, let them enjoy the game.
100%.
They paid for those tickets. Okay, their team might have lost. You
Be a
really
fan.
need
Be
to
like, laugh
crap.
with them. It's a regular season game. It's not a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, haha, you're losing. Cool. A good sport would turn around and be like, oh, you guys got me. I'll go get a Dodgers hat or something. But funny thing is, we went to an Angels game because we go to Angel games too. Completely different atmosphere. It's like 90210. Like, there's just a different vibe. People wearing, Docker shorts. I don't know, like, little hoodies, sweaters wrapped around their necks and stuff. It's way different than the Dodgers game. But that's a point. What else we got today?
Okay, let's see.
We can talk forever about sports.
Unemployment's going up.
We knew that. Unemployment's a lie. It's 100% lie how low it is.
They say it's still 3.5.
There's no way. There's no jobs. There's no good jobs.
No good jobs.
Right?
It's all
Would you agree?
low-paying
It's all low-paying
labor jobs.
jobs out there that they're saying that there's jobs. It's all low-paying jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like your minimum wage call center, customer service rep for Visa or something.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through recently. It's been Lyft, Dropbox,
First Republic, yeah, it just went down.
Gap,
Another bank. But that Deutsche Bank, yeah, that's a big one.
3M,
3M.
laying off people.
Tyson Foods, because they're burning up all the chickens in those coops. Roku. Virgin Orbit. Yeah, they're losing a lot. Richard Branson's losing a lot on that. EA Electronic Arts. Warner Music Group. Lucid, that's a big one. That affects us in Arizona. Especially people in Maricopa that's a big deal. There's a big factory in Maricopa for Lucid. Let's see.
Bed Bath Beyond.
Yep, that's a big one. 20% cut in the workforce. Indeed? What? A round of cuts at Indeed? Indeed's a recruiting center, right? To help you find a job? That's not good. When the company that helps you find a job is getting cut.
Glassdoor, similar.
Glassdoor is it's kind of like Indeed, right? Yeah.
Then you have a data chip
Marvell
manufacturer
Technologies. Yeah, I've heard of them.
company. Amazon.
Lockheed Martin. Look at that. Do you see that? Plans to lay off 176. That's not too bad. They're a pretty big company.
Douglas, but yeah.
Sirius XM. Citigroup. Yep. Citigroup's cutting a ton. 1%. It's not bad.
But I mean,
The attrition's not bad on those, right?
let's talk more about that. Unemployment. So we're seeing on the news, jobs are being cut, but most of these jobs are decent paying jobs. It's not the jobs that are currently open.
No, they're cutting high paying. They're cutting middle class jobs that you can support your family on.
So the only jobs available are the low paying jobs.
Back
right?
to working at the mall, customer service.
Customer service, fast food, jobs that no one wants. because they know it's not going to pay the bills.
Yeah, I think there's a pride thing too, though. You go from a good job, decent job when you're in AC, wearing suits or whatever, to am I gonna go work at McDonald's? Is my boss gonna be an 18-year-old kid
Yeah.
telling me to go flip burgers?
Or
Yeah.
job, you had to go to college for, you got the degree, and now you got laid off. Now you're going to what? Go back to square one.
Because you probably have student loans.
Yeah, you also got student loans, and
They're
you'd be
super
a
high.
bartender again, a server again. This job you had when you were in
Yeah.
college just to get by.
The attrition on that, like the bartenders and restaurant. I mean, we have friends that are still servers, right? Working at. We have one friend. We're not gonna say who it is. Working at Chili's and Applebee's, and then we've been trying to mention, hey, go get a regular job. Go start at Wells Fargo from the bottom. They pay decent to start off here in Chandler and the call center there, and then you can move up pretty fast. They like success stories there. If you're a hard worker, you're gonna move up within your first year pretty quick. I'm a big fan of Wells Fargo and banks like that for people that want to get into entry level jobs
Sure.
and work hard, and they reward hard workers. It is a lot of micromanaging though. It is a lot of like 9 to 5, and they tell you when you can go pee, when you can go. It's like, here's your breaks. You get 2 15-minute breaks and 1 30-minute lunch.
I hate those jobs.
Yeah, because they're telling you when you can go to the bathroom. You got to go number 2. You got to wait another hour and a half.
You got to pinch that.
I can't do it. I gotta go. But
You're not even treated as an adult.
no, it is pretty hard. But sometimes you have to swallow your pride for that paycheck.
But again, banks are failing, so they're going to be cutting jobs to that sector real soon.
They always do. But if you're good at your job, you're not going to get cut. If you show up on time, is the majority of that job. And if you're good on the phones, you're going to keep your job. I'm talking about the entry level job, right?
Or people who just got in. But there's also people who worked for the same company for a while and they get laid off.
Oh, that's the
because
worst.
company tanks.
Before it happens. It's just life, man. It's or the ones where you've been working at a company for 17 years or 3 years away from retiring, and they decide to lay you off because your replacement is half the price. There's a guy in my church group that they did that to, and I'm just like, oh, it sucks.
Sometimes they keep a person who's completely oblivious of the worth because they haven't checked Indeed that the same job position and skills pays more somewhere else.
Oh yeah, that happens too. There's a lot of people that stay at their jobs that never look to see, if the grass is greener. But it goes into that syndrome. Like, is the grass greener? Like, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Most of the times it isn't. A lot of people are going to tell you what they want you to hear to leave your job of 5-6 years, and then when you get there, you're like, this place sucks.
Well, it's true
They're
that
lied to.
a lot of people shift jobs every 2 years or so because it shows that you do gain more financially the more jobs you keep jumping, which is unfortunate.
It is.
Because you
it
want
is.
to reward loyalty, but companies don't show that loyalty when they're ready to cut you
Yeah,
at any moment.
but a lot of companies are all about numbers. There's no loyalty anymore. You've been there 6 years, and your numbers are a little bit less than the new guy, and the new guy doesn't even care about being there. And doesn't get along with the staff, but you do, and everyone loves you. And they're like, oh, the new guy's making us a little bit more money, a little bit, so we're gonna keep him. It's just, and then new guy ended up leaving 2 months later, anyways. So
Got a better job.
yeah, there's a lot of industries that do that. Sales, a lot of people jump in sales jobs all the time. In any industry, it could be insurance, it could be mortgage, it could be real estate. I have a lot of friends, even myself, that jump to different companies because of either promises that that they say, and then you come and find out it's not true, and then you try to go back to your old job, or it is something that, hey, your company's not paying you what you should be getting paid. Come over here, we'll pay you what you're supposed to be getting paid. So like I said, I got a friend at do a shout out, Geneva Financial. They pay pretty high. They're a mortgage company, but they pay almost double, sometimes triple what some of these retail loan officers make out there, which is crazy. So if you have a book of business, you want to make good money, I mean, give me a call, and I could direct you. I got my line directly to the CEO and the CFO. I can hook you up and help you find happiness, I should say.
Well, way to put a recruitment out there.
Yeah, yeah. I better get paid for that too. Just kidding.
Get a kickback of some kind.
Nah, give me some coffee and I'll be good.
No, but going back to the low-paying jobs, they showed that recently there was 10 million openings. That's now below 10 million. So the low-paying jobs are kind of decreasing right now with this high inflation. But it's also so high because no one wants to work them because they know it's low paying. It's not going to pay the bills.
Yeah.
They're not going to work there until they have no other option. Right now, there's still a little bit of options to have a better job than some of these low-wage jobs. Unless those wage jobs have better benefits, they increase the pay to get people in the door, or they're waiting for more youth to come in.
Let me ask you about that. There's a stigma about talking to your fellow employees about how much they make. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
They're saying that a lot of employers don't want you to do that. There's a reason, because they don't want you to know that they're paying the newer guys more money.
This goes back to what I was saying when that employee who's been there for so long is unaware that another company is willing to pay him for more.
Correct.
So you have someone who's been there for 5+ years, say he's an engineer of some kind, makes $50,000 a year, but the new guy came in because the standard right now is $65,000 for entry, and he's there, but he's not supposed to say how much he makes. So the guy who's more experienced, who's been there for longer, who probably started at 40,000, worked his way up to 50,000, unaware that he could be making more somewhere else, or he needs to charge into HR or his manager or someone and demand that raise.
Correct.
So
Happens everywhere. Happens everywhere on a salary jobs.
yes,
But it's not really like you can't get in trouble for that. Your employer acts like you're in trouble if you talk about how much you're getting paid. Says who? Says who? So
well, California's doing this thing. I think it's a law now that any jobs you post, you have to be transparent on how much it pays. Because right now, anywhere else or most places, they're not very transparent about how much the job pays. So when you call, get the interview,
the
if
job
you
pays days.
mention how much this job pays, they're probably not going to hire you.
You know
Which
what?
is frustrating.
It's frustrating too is when you apply for a job and they say, well, what's the minimum you want?
Oh, I know. Or the maximum or whatever.
What do you expect to get paid? I always put starting. Like, I want $1 million, but I'm not going to get that. And if you put too high, they're like, oh, I don't even want to talk to this guy.
If you say that to the person who's interviewing you, they're not going to take you seriously and they're not going to select you.
Correct. Like how high can I say? It's like when they're being interviewed. I had that recently. Someone asked me, how much do you need to make? And I was like, I want to make $1 million. But as far as need, I need to start off at the beginning. What your starting pay is, and move pretty quickly. What does that look like? How can I get my pay escalated? I just hate when people ask me, well, how much do you want to make? It's your company, it's your job. Like, what are you offering? What are people making in this position?
That should make you pause, and that should be a red flag of the company they may potentially work for.
Correct.
So if they're giving you these type of questions, then you need to just pause and be like, do I really want to work for this company? If they're not very transparent, if they don't have my best interest.
Or they want to save money and be like, okay, the job pays 72. Let's see what the minimum is. You say, oh, I got to make 60. They just saved $12,000 a year.
Ooh, this reminds me, I had an interview for this one job months ago. It's been almost a year now. In the interview, I asked what's it like moving up in the company. The lady told me, this is it. And I don't want to hire someone who's expecting to move up, then I got to train someone else. So it's like, so I'm stuck here? No, thank you.
That kind of sucks. You're stuck unless you really love your job. I don't know. That's a good point that she said. This is it. Why would I hire you if you're going to want to move up? Well, I want to be in your position. How do I become you?
Move up. Everyone wants to move up.
You have to move up.
We're all preached that you should take a job where you move up the corporate ladder.
Yeah. Well, is this not a corporate job? Like, you guys don't have a corporate ladder? Like, how do you interview me? Like, where do you go? Are you stuck in your job? Like, is that what you're telling me? There's no way I could be you in a year or two?
It's weird because I remember when I was young, just out of college, I have editing skills, computer skills, photography skills, and a car dealership interviewed me about this position. Didn't pay that much, but I'll see what I can do with the company. Maybe I can move around, get paid more. Basically, stuck at that job, but if I wanted to change a career, I could work in sales with them. It's like, that's not my career path.
Correct.
You just want me to take a position that benefits you. I mean, everyone does, but it doesn't benefit me.
Well, a lot of employers are gonna be like that. Like I've gotten hired for jobs before, and I told them I specifically don't want to do this other position. I want this position. Yeah, yeah, we'll get you in. And then the day of, like day one of the job, at the end, they'll be like, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna put you in this position instead. We're gonna get rid of the other position." I'm like, "Hey." But then you're stuck.
Yeah.
So, nah,
Once you quit and they go through that whole thing, but
can't quit. I mean, what are you gonna quit and just now you're unemployed? Like, and you just left your other job that you liked and you were leaving it because this position recruited you and promised you a million things. And that goes to like sales guys. Like all my sales guys know and been through this. If you're in sales, you're always getting recruited by someone else. And they're always promising you something. And I guarantee it's 90% BS. 90% BS. Because every time I hear this great story from my friends, oh, I'm leaving because of this, this, and that. They get there 3 months later. Hey, dude, do you think I can get hired back? I'm like, whoa, what happened? I can name 4 people right now from my recent company that happened, and then countless others, friends that same thing. They leave their job because they think the grass is greener, and I tell them it's not greener. It's not greener. They don't want to believe me because they're getting pitched by the sales guys, right? We're all selling each other. The recruiter sells them on something that obviously the recruiter doesn't do that job. He's a recruiter. Tells them, how great it is. Let me get you over to my manager. The manager needs people in there, so he's going to tell you a great story, and then you get there and it sucks.
yeah,
You know?
I've been through the rat race of sales jobs when I was young. A lot of it's just recruitment, word of mouth. Hey, come work here. They pay great. When you get there, they update their quota requirements, so only the top 5% actually meet the quota, and everyone's trying to meet that quota to get the bonuses, the commissions, and whatnot. Then you're kind of just stuck there with the low hourly wage, with a expectation of meeting a quota that you can't make, or it's going to take a long time to get there until you understand the job better. Then you're out again looking for another job, and someone else says, "Hey, come over at this place. This place pays better." Then you go there, and you're in the same situation again. So a lot of these sales jobs, I mean, it just wasn't for me. It's hard to find a good sales job that you're passionate about selling the product, what they have to offer, or the service.
Well, you stay at that job that you're passionate about, selling a product that you believe in. That's a different story. So most times we're selling something we don't agree with, and most time you're selling a product that's more expensive and not as good. You know that, but you have to put on a smile and say, "No, we're the best. This is why." And there's always rebuttals to that, but no, that you make a great point about that. And a lot of companies talk about atmosphere too, right? Like, oh, come here. I used to work at a company, Freedom Mortgage. I helped them build their office at the Biltmore. I was one of the first people to open the gates there for them. And one of the conference rooms, they transformed it into a Nintendo and video game and a lounge area. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, we're gonna put in a skee ball table and we're gonna do this. This is gonna be our lounge. So they would bring people in. Look, this is our culture. Look, we have a lounge room, blah, blah, blah. You can never go into the lounge room.
No, because you're being micromanaged.
Your manager sees that you're in there. Are you on your lunch? Is what they would say. And then you'd be like, yeah, I'm on my lunch. It's like you can only be there at lunchtime. That's it.
Yeah, your 30-minute lunch.
You can't be in there for anything else. I'm like, why did you build this then? Either lunch or after work, you can be in there. And if you're in there after work, they're like, well, if you're here, why aren't you working?
It's just an illusion.
It is an illusion. It's just because the whole Google thing came out and they had that on the Apple campuses and stuff that, let's do that into mortgage and make it seem like mortgage is fun. No, mortgage is not fun. It's freaking stressful. There's just so many moving parts when you're doing mortgages that the realtor has no idea, right? And the realtor, they write the contract and they're calling you every 24 minutes. What's going on? It's like, dude, it's in processing. It's out of my hands. But you can't tell them it's out of your hands, right? You have a million other people looking at it, and they're telling you, "Oh yeah, this isn't going to work" and stuff. But
so, one topic on environment that I want to talk about, the subject on work-life balance. That used to be a pitch or benefit that employers would
it's a
put
lie.
out there.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Some places have it, a lot don't have it.
Who has it? And I'll go check it out because it has to be the 9 to 5 like back end processing jobs that do that. Any sales job, they're not gonna. There's no work life balance. You're on vacation. You're expected to answer emails and phone calls. You'll be in Hawaii and be like, man, this email came out. How come no one can take care of this? And you're on the phone. I was just recently on a family trip in California on the beach, getting phone calls from a builder and a realtor like, hey, what's going on with this deal? I'm like, dude, I'm on the beach. I had no access. I got my phone. Let me look at my emails on my phone. Let me send out an email to our processor. Let me find out from the underwriter what's going on. And I'm out there on the beach for 6 hours. I probably worked 5 of those hours, or was stressed out and had to get on my phone, instead of enjoying my time. So a sales job, there's no work-life balance. Not unless you just want to do the bare minimum. There is, but if you want to do well, no, there's no work-life balance.
Yeah, work-life balance. Like people think, oh, work-life balance means I could take my kids to school, come back, probably not get a daycare. Maybe I can go to the grocery store real quick. I don't have to take PTO if I have a doctor's appointment. Just things like that people are expected from work-life balance.
Well, I think people in remote jobs are expecting that, right? Like, oh, cool, I'll work remote. That way I can pick up my kids from school. But a lot of these remote jobs are micromanaging you. Why are you away from your computer? I'll have to pick up my kid. Why didn't you go on your break time? It's like, dude, this is why I picked a remote job in the first place. Like, now I have to wait till my lunch to go pick up my kids, which, you can sacrifice that and make it work, but you're gone for 15 minutes and the world ends, so.
Well, remote work, I mean, when that genie came out of the bottle with the pandemic, people said, I like this way better. I don't have to deal with traffic anymore.
They're going to bring you back.
A lot of them are trying to bring you back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Not all of them will. And there'll be new companies that come up and say, hey, you want to do the same job but work from home? That's going to be a strong
That's a good niche right there.
Pitch that's going to always be used, because remote jobs, that's out of the bottle. That's here to stay. I believe it's here to stay.
It's here to stay. Like what you just said, there's companies that are going to use that to their advantage. Now these big companies that want you to come back, there's a reason. We talked about this, right? They need you back because they're paying that rent. They own that building. They need to justify paying X amount a month for that building. With their name on it, right? So they're going to bring you back. The Wells Fargo's, the Chase, the Bank of America's, the big corporations, the GMs, they need you back in the office. Plus the managers need to see that you're working.
Yeah. I mean, there's other ways you can do it now with remote. I mean, there's Zoom and Teams. You could just make a digital corner in the building that shows everyone's online. Some require your camera to stay on, or just other means, just always check in or something. It's just talk to each other.
That's creepy. Keeping your camera on. I couldn't work with my camera on 24/7. Like I'm picking my nose or something, or
yeah, I understand.
It's like, or my kid comes out in her diaper and stuff. Like they don't need to see that my daughter just pooped her pants or something. No, yeah, I don't know. Not 24/7, but I get it.
If you're in the office, people see you all the time. You don't even notice it though. I mean, it's a quick glance here and there.
Yeah, but at least you're working. A lot of managers and bosses, they want you in there because they can walk up to you instead of going. But I get what you're saying with Teams and Zoom. Even VR is going to be the way of the future, like virtual reality meetings and stuff like that. I think that's going to be big.
You think that's possible? Work in
100%.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like that you brought this up because I want you to elaborate on this. I own Oculus and I'm very impressed with it. I think right now where the technology is with VR reminded me a lot of how computers are when they're first coming out. The people who had it were the hardcore gamers and hardcore geeks rather. And then it became more. You could do more. You can write on it, spell check. You could surf the internet, send emails. You could work on it finally. You get an education on it now. Now with VR, that's kind of where it is right now. It's just the hardcore gamers, hardcore geeks are on it right now.
Yep.
How do you elaborate it more? So you get home and it's easier to, I guess, micromanage when you're in the VR world, but you're in the comfort of your home at least, so you don't have to fight traffic. You just pop in the headset when it gets better. Right now it's too bulky, but they're reducing
they're coming out with the technology where it's just going to feel like a hat. Like it's going to be really light. And that technology is already here. They just need to put it mainstream. I think VR or AR, augmented technology, those are the two ones that they're going to look at, because that way I could be working with a team in India or Singapore, put it on. It's not looking at Zoom. It's going to feel three-dimensional, right? Like you're going to be, oh, you're right there and right there, and you have a big meeting and everyone's talking, kind of like in Star Wars, like Jedi Council. You know, you see everyone in the Jedi Council. It's not there. It's going to be something like that. I definitely think it's the way of the future, and it's one of those things, just like the internet, just like anything else. It's going to take time to cultivate, take time to really get it out there. And it'll take a decade before it gets out there
Well, yeah,
mainstream.
it's going to take a while. I mean, Oculus 3 is coming out. It's less bulky and it's more powerful. I mean,
But that is crazy technology. Like I remember when you brought it over recently, and I played Star Wars. Like I got scared when Darth Vader came out. Like I was like, "Holy cow, this thing is crazy!"
it's intimidating.
Like it's awesome. Like I can't even imagine. I think there's a horror movie game that came out that people were talking about that's like super scary to play. I don't know if it's Oculus or one of the competitors, but I heard you have nightmares.
But they only get better with the technology. So right now it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, yeah,
it's only gonna get
funky
better.
here and there.
Yeah, it's only gonna
Only
get better.
gets better, but to incorporate work, I know Mark Zuckerberg's trying, and it's not that great right now. But maybe it's too early. But you
too
have to
early.
give it time.
Yeah, it's too early to incorporate work, but it's going that
But the
direction.
thing is, someone else can figure it out, though. It can't just be Mark Zuckerberg.
No, other companies are figuring it out.
Someone's going to figure out how to do it cheaper, easier, different vision, different ideas.
And I know who it is.
Who?
The Japanese.
Why the
Dude,
Japanese?
the Japanese have awesome technology, man. They are living in the future.
Why is it Japanese? It can't just be the Taiwanese. It can't be the Koreans. Can't
No,
be the
it's
Singaporeans.
Japanese.
I'm saying all the Asians, by the way.
No, it's Japanese. They have some, like their science conferences that they have, like they have some really cool tech. I'm just saying it could come out from that side of the world instead of just here.
And it doesn't have to be VR or AR. There could be something else that we
Like
don't
what-
know about.
Well, it could be something else, but I definitely think VR and AR are the two things that are going to be pushing us into the future.
Let's step back on remote work, because one thing that frustrates people about coming into the office, that they step in a meeting that's going to be on Zoom with someone else in a different office, and you're wondering why I'm in this office to begin with when I could be at home. And another reason why people love remote is because you save time, right?
Correct.
There's no time for prep. You wake up in the morning, you have to have your breakfast, coffee, maybe take the kids to school or something, get them ready, and then being stuck in
The
traffic.
drive. Yep. We
drive
talked
is
about
the
the drive
big one.
before. Drive
So-
sucks.
At least maybe
Gas
2
is
hours
$5.
before you step into the office. An hour. Let's just give them that. Maybe an hour. So an hour that's not yours. It's kind of technically
It's an
company
hour you
time.
lost, right?
It's already lost. Your mind's on the job. And
You
then
should get paid right when you leave the house.
I was going to argue this idea that you should be allotted 1 hour of prep time. Basically, maybe 30 minutes to get to the office and 30 minutes leaving to get to your house. So you're in the office 7 hours. As an idea to combat the desires for remote work, the benefits of remote work. So remote, you work 8 hours, or you're given an hour of commute to get to work, and you work
Correct.
7 hours in the office. Of course, 7 hours of productivity, people might not want that. Or just
Yeah.
give me the extra funds for the commute time, the time for commute time, and the gas. Because that's another thing you save on is the gas in
Yeah.
remote work.
I've worked at some mortgage call centers where they required you to have all your systems up on your computer before you logged in. And that some of those places, I'm not going to say who they are, Fargo, would make you come in, and it'd take you anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to have all your systems ready and everything, power on, different screens up there, put in your password, wait for it to link up. We used to have these fobs with our keys, and you had to put in your computer and make sure it's you. Easily 5 minutes if you're fast, 10 minutes if you have an error. Like if you have to call IT and say, hey, my thing's not hooking up, I need help. And if that's the issue and it takes longer, then you have to write a ticket to your boss. Why? With the receipt from IT saying that you called and you had a problem.
You have to regain that time back, right? So it goes to your check.
I'm saying, like,
Because you're not getting paid.
you should get paid for the moment you sit down in that seat and start logging in. Not, okay, it's only, and a lot of times the average was around, they want you in there 15 minutes early because it took a lot of people. It took them up to that 15-minute mark. If they their systems were slow and you had to get into all these different screens, to pull up credit, to get find pricing on the houses, and look at different markets and stuff like that. So that's, to your point, like, hey, you should get paid for traveling. There's companies that don't pay you until you have everything ready to go, and then you clock in, you taking that call 2 seconds right after.
Okay, so 15 minutes of boot up time. That's, for most people,
Over an hour a week.
Commute 15 minutes. It
Yeah.
takes 30 minutes up to an hour because traffic. You're fighting everyone. Everyone's angry.
Out here, it's almost anywhere from 30 to an hour. Like if you have to go on the other side of town or something, or not even on the other side of town, you have to go down to Phoenix or something from here, fight traffic, fight parking. You have to find a parking spot. You're losing, say, an hour in the morning, and then the hour after, it's like you're listening to sports radio, going, thinking about how crappy your day was. Or, I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that. And then you have to get home, you have to open your computer or send out an email or send out a text. Tell your boss, I forgot to do this. Can you help me with that? And most of the times they're like, well, you can do it tomorrow. Your bosses, a lot of bosses, they got home, they don't want to talk to you.
No, they blow you off.
Yeah.
That blowback sucks, man. When you're trying to learn your job, do your job, you need someone, you depend on them to get your task done,
Yeah.
and they blow you off like that, and you're like, great, now I'm going to look bad later.
Well, yeah. And it doesn't matter because it's you that looks bad, not them.
Recently, I can't say what company I work for, but I work in the area of public health, and they hired me for two things. I have a master's of communications, master in public health. They needed someone who has those two skills, so I was hired for it. And I created a survey for 100 plus people to answer about remote work, how it affects them, do they like it, they don't like it, can they accomplish their job remotely versus in the office. Is there certain things they're missing, like social cues, interactions, the resources that they need? I mean, overwhelmingly, everyone wants remote. As long as you can provide the resources, which we have the technology to do so, especially with the internet, especially with cloud technology, you can do the job at home. The resistance to get people in, it's very degressive. Companies are moving forward. They're progressing. They're embracing remote work. It's just, things are going to get done faster. Yeah, remote work is kind of a new thing. I get it. But people are going to have better ideas of how to streamline this better, how to get things done faster, because that hour commute time plus leaving, that could be productive hours for someone else.
Well, there's also hybrid too. A lot of companies are going to hybrid. Like, come in the office 1 or 2 days a week, and then just so you can get some face time, and then the rest of the week you're at home or wherever you're working.
Hybrid, I can understand certain situations. I've heard some arguments about hybrid that there's an imbalance of productivity between the people in the office and people at home and how they're getting things done. Some people who are working remote are getting a lot of things done because they're not angry, they're not dealing with traffic, they started early, they're finishing later.
They have a nice little office at home instead of a cubicle.
So people who went in the office, they just battle through traffic, pissed, the morale's low, they have to deal with people they don't want to deal with in person. So
then you have Employee Appreciation Day, and they bring them a bunch of pizza. So
I know, right?
And you just get fat.
Increasing your pay.
It's increasing pay to let's just slap a pizza party, get them all excited for Domino's.
Of course, there's jobs you can't do remotely. It's impossible, like a construction job or something.
Correct.
But if that's your passion,
Policing, yeah.
If that's your passion, then go for it. We need those people in society. We need people who can still work at McDonald's or whatnot, although they're trying to automate it, right?
Which sucks. Yeah, and that takes the human element away. I hate that. I hope my favorite place is Five Guys for burgers, so hopefully they never go automated.
I mean, they could.
They could. They're not embracing it though right now.
Well, they're just reducing the workforce, right? There's going to be one person who can do everything. They might have two as a backup for redundancy, but if something goes out of order, they just fix it, realign it. All right, the machine's running, it's cooking the bun, it's getting the burger ready, the cheese is melting on the meat, it's stacking the food so you have a sandwich now, the fries are done, it puts it in a little box, here's your bag, you leave.
I can see like those fast food places being more automated. Like you come in, instead of going to a register and paying, you're paying through like ATM type of thing, right? Where
Well,
you're
yeah,
like, here's your card, or you put in your cash and it gives you your change. That way, the person doesn't handle any money. That way, you can't rob them.
yeah. I mean, you can either order at the register yourself, a self checkout type of thing, or on the app, and then you're just waiting on the side for them to call your number, say your food's ready.
That's where we're going. That is 100% where we're going. I think it takes away a lot from crime, right? You're not worried about a register. They're not going to rob you and say, "Give me all your money." It's like, "Oh, here's my wallet, $2. Have a nice day." Everything is either getting paid through, which I think digital soon, but mostly with a card. If you have to do cash, it's just like an ATM. Like, here, put your money in there and kicks out your change. That's what it's going to go to. That way, it's less people working there, less chance of it's going to get robbed. But you'll have one person that just grabs the food from the conveyor belts or whatever when it's ready and gives it to number 16, and they're gone. And you'll probably have one or two people supervising, make sure the machines are working, because there's always a chance. I mean, the machine's not going to be perfect. What if it gets backed up or something happens?
It's like the grocery store right now, self checkout.
Oh, I hate
There's
that.
one person for every six
Walmart.
registers, right? They do that. Not just Walmart, Target, grocery stores.
Price. Yeah, all the grocery stores just do that right now, and it kills me.
And if you want the actual register person, there's like one maybe open. That's about it. They
Yeah.
all want you to go self checkout.
They all want you to do their job.
Yeah, it's like I don't work here.
Yeah.
Why am I checking this stuff out?
Yeah. Did you see Walmart started checking receipts like Costco would? You know how you
when
go
you're
to
leaving?
Costco, when you leave, they check your receipt, because it's part of your contract with Costco. Like when you sign your contract to be a member, you're giving them permission to look at what you're buying.
Sure.
That's in their contract. I never signed that with Walmart. Why are you trying to stop me?
Well, I mean, Best Buy did that too. I used to work that job, loss prevention. So I'd randomly check people's receipts. All right, the receipt says they have 5 items. That 5 items in the hand. Is that the correct one? And kind of do a little audit here and there.
It sucks. I would be like, dude, you just saw me pay this right here 2 feet from you. Why are you checking my stuff?
Well, it's to discourage people who may actually steal. So like, oh, they're checking everyone. Maybe I shouldn't steal.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just for the optics, for someone who may potentially be robbing the place.
Like Walmart, like they're like picking and choosing who they want to pick to, like, they stop me. I'm like, why'd you stop me, not them? Like, if you're gonna stop
random.
one person, get everybody. It's like that's like the airport. Oh, a random check. It's always me. I'm always getting checks. Like, dude, come on. I don't have anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, that person's getting paid low. They don't want to do it themselves either, trust me.
No, they don't want to do it. You're not the door greeter in Walmart. Can't imagine, because it's mostly retired people. So
And have the loss prevention. They're just doing it just for the job. Oh, you're stealing this. I don't care. Get out. They don't pay me enough to care. They
yeah, I
really
could see
don't
that
care.
scenario too. Like, oh, okay, this thing's gonna go off, but go ahead and keep walking. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it's just they
Ah.
don't pay me enough to care.
Crazy. What's next? What else we got?
All right, let's see.
We're already an hour into our show. We're just about.
Yeah, I know. We're doing pretty good. So, oh, look at this.
Oh, go, Danny. Tell us what we're doing.
We have a Texas shooter, suspect who has killed 5 neighbors, including a child. Oh, that's real evil right there. Could be anywhere right now, as police went and search. So, April 30th right now. They haven't found this person yet.
Wow, I shot including an 8-year-old boy.
So they haven't found him yet. They have his picture, as you can see on the right over here.
It's just a matter of time,
Just at
right?
large, yeah. Just
It's just a matter of time till they get him. Now they're trying to get him before he kills more people. Let me ask you, why would someone kill? There seems to be a lot of shootings. Why?
I just don't get it. Like, why? What motivated you enough to convince you in your head that says, execute this idea that involves genocide? Doesn't matter who is in front of you, kill them. Like, I just don't get it. Especially when school shooters, like, they go to an elementary school. I mean, yeah, they're instilling fear on people. But, like, what are you trying to achieve? Really, no one's going to respect you. No one's going to be on your side about whatever agenda you have going on, whatever vendetta you have. It's not the right way to resolve it. So what's going on?
That's a great question. He says he killed 5, right?
Yes.
I see the names.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so Sonia 25, Diana 21, Julissa 31, Jose 18, and 8-year-old Daniel. I don't want to say their last names, but that's crazy. Like, to your point, what drives you to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm gonna kill one, and I'm just gonna kill all you. I'm gonna kill 5. Like, what goes through your mind? Like, are you on drugs? Are you just out of your mind? Or is it, I don't know. I'm not him. I don't know his circumstances.
I mean, we've talked about this with gun shooting before, and I'd like to elaborate more on this. Yeah, it's a mental health issue. Then how come we are not putting out resources into mental health?
'Cause they want you to. They want to get rid of your gun. They want to take your guns, not cure people.
Yeah, because right now
They don't make money on that.
Yeah, the agenda is, oh, we gotta take guns away. No assault rifles. Oh, okay, so the only people with assault rifles are criminals, and I can't defend myself against those criminals or the government.
The government, exactly. Which I saw a thing about that. Like Tucker Carlson was grilling one of the senators that was saying you don't need an assault rifle, but his security detail has them. And he said, so you can have them, but to defend you, but I can't defend myself. That makes no sense.
So I need to hire private security with who can have the assault rifles
Yeah.
to use them to defend me against the criminals who do not abide by the
Well,
law.
The thing is, if you take away guns, the criminals, the bad guys, they're not giving you guns. Now you just gave them more power because they know you don't have guns. That's how the world works.
If you're a law-abiding citizen, you're a sucker now.
Correct. That's why I hate gun-free school zones. When they put that sign up there, you're just advertising, come on in. Come on in. I argue this with some of my friends. Like, don't you want to know that your kids are in a safe neighborhood? Yes. Just have a police officer out front or something. Don't advertise that there's no one here that has a gun. Don't advertise that security doesn't have guns. We've seen this time and time again. These guys that come in with assault rifles, they have a heyday. It's like a video game for them. It's sad. It's tragic. It's. I don't know what the answer is, except to the point that you said. Mental health. Mental health is the key. How do we cure everyone or give help to people that need help?
What's going on in our society that's became a contagion where more and more people are willing to pick up a weapon, handgun, rifle, maybe a knife, in pursuit to cause harm. Genocide. Like, what's going on? And if we could see that picture and understand it more, maybe we could resolve it. But no one wants to take that approach.
I think it's division.
What division?
No, we're dividing each other, like left, right, your religion, my religion, your beliefs, my beliefs. The media divides us, and instead of trying to unite us, I think that they keep pushing the button, right? Gosh, that's sad. I'm just looking at it too, going, 8-year-old kid. Can you imagine?
Yeah, next day you get a phone call.
Where is this?
8-year-old was shot. It's in Texas.
Oh, it's 45 miles north of Houston. Okay, Houston's big. I think they're the biggest city in Texas.
I don't know. Maybe. But one thing with Republicans, they talk about mental health. Sure, I'll agree with you there. But what are you doing?
They're not doing anything, just like the homeless situation. They're not doing anything. Like, fix those two problems. I think more so the homeless situation needs to be addressed. Take care of the homeless situation. There's less crime. Think about it. If you're homeless, you have no money, you haven't ate for 3 days. I mean, yeah, you're gonna do something. You're gonna go steal a bag of chips or mug someone. I hate to say it, but you're gonna try to survive.
Yep.
And then you'll probably 3 weeks later feel bad for that person you beat up for $3 to get something to eat. But our society is just like, we don't help each other. We say we do, we don't.
No, and how about the homeless? There's nothing we can do that makes it feel like we did an impact.
Housing.
Okay, if you give them housing, then
Create
the people
housing.
who work create housing for homeless?
Tiny homes.
Okay, then how come those tiny homes can't be provided for low-wage workers who can't even afford a house? So why does the homeless get it, but the low-wage don't? Then what do the low-wage people get?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think
They pay for the
that's a
tiny
great. No,
homes for the
no,
homeless to live
yeah,
in?
yeah. You're right.
So,
I agree with you. Now you just. I feel like we're in a debate here, but yes, you're right.
I mean, I'd love the answer. I know the problem, but
There's
I don't have an answer.
boxable homes. Have you seen those?
I've
The
seen them.
Elon Musk housing that he created. Supposedly they're pretty cool, but I don't think our society, we don't want tiny houses
Yeah.
in neighborhoods because it lowers your house value.
Yeah, you don't want affordable housing in your neighborhood. It
No,
lowers the value of your community.
just like you don't like seeing, oh, there's construction and you find out they're apartments. You're like, no, that's going to hurt us. It's more population, more people who they're going to be there short term. They're not going to be part of the community long. Or vice versa, they want to live there first, see how it is, and then they end up buying a house, right? There's two sides to every story, I should say. But yeah,
No,
I
there
agree.
is. It's just, I don't know.
You
what the
create a
answer is.
community, I think. Like, you create a town with affordable housing, and you create an environment where you,
But one thing that drives me crazy when politicians talk about affordable housing, what does that mean? Really, what does it mean? Is there a set number you can give me?
no, there isn't, because they just say this so you can stop talking about
The
it.
key
But
word. They just throw it out there.
it's a
Make it
pressure
sound like
point.
they're on yeah.
It's a pressure point. What is affordable housing? It means it's the house. It's not going to be built as good, or you cutting corners just to put someone in a home. But no, you're right.
We had the technology to foldable homes / 3D print homes. I mean, do you think we'd scale that more, perfect that technology more?
Yeah, but there's no money. All these big builders would lose a ton of money.
Well, you would think that the builders
You
would
think
save
Toll
on
Brothers?
labor costs.
Yeah, you think Toll Brothers is going to want to do that?
Like a DR Horn, biggest builder. You'd think that the top executives be like, let's invest in 3D homes or foldable homes. We'll cut back on labor costs.
Yeah.
All we need is material and maybe one or two
Yeah, you're
people.
right. There's no
make
real
it.
answer. There's plenty of towns that you can do that affordable housing. There's plenty of places where you can, but you have to have the conversation. You have to start it. You have to be like willing to not just talk about it, but execute on what you're going to talk about. Like, but a lot of homeless, they like being in California because of the weather, right?
Yeah.
Here in Phoenix, we have some, but gosh, it's so hot. It's so hot in the summer for them. I feel so bad. And I don't know. There's no way. There's no way to fix it. Not right now.
I mean, it's
And they don't care.
it's tough because when I lived in Hawaii, I volunteered at a homeless shelter, and I could describe to you real quick what it's like to be in a homeless shelter. Like you check in, if as long as you're someone who's not on drugs, clean person, you're just down on your luck. A shelter's just like a big warehouse, right? There's no room for privacy like wall barriers. It's like you're in this corner with your family with two mattresses put together. Against this wall is another family with two mattresses put together. Against this wall, two mattresses put together. That's that family. I mean, it's shelter, right? No one said it's a home. No one said it was could be nice. You have a roof over your head, and you get food that's donated to you. A lot of it's from USDA, but some of the community comes in and donates food.
Yep, like food banks and stuff like that. No, I saw recently in one of our community Facebook posts today that single mom and her son are getting evicted from their house. The rent's going up. They can't afford it, and the only thing they can go to is a shelter, and they wanted other options. But if you have no other options, you're gonna have to go to the shelter. And I get it; it sucks. But man, like at that point, I'd probably call my mom, my dad, brother, sister. Like, can you at least take my kid in?
See, a lot of single moms who are working class, let's call it that, they get stuck in this loop. So let's just say they work at a retail store, for an example. You know, it's a low wage job, but they have kids support. So they have to get government assistance. So it kind of elevates them to what the benefits somewhere like say 50,000. I'm just throwing random numbers. I know it's going to be inaccurate, but if you find a better job or you change something that could cause your benefits to go away. So say you're making 30,000 now, but if you find a job that makes 40,000,
You lose benefits,
you lose a lot of benefits
a
now.
ton of benefits. Correct.
So you just kind of get stuck unless you find a job or a career that pays twice the amount or 3 times the amount. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck.
You're stuck. And the system's set up like that too. It sucks. I get it. It sucks to be in that situation.
I know I didn't describe it very well, but I understand
Not
that
at all.
they get stuck in a
kidding.
system.
No, it is, and we'll have people that will comment. Recently, we've had some comments that we've had that like our point of view or my point of view, and then you get their point of view, and you're like, oh, dang, I didn't see it that way. But that's what
Right.
this show's for. Is we say what we believe or our situation, and then we hear your situation or your point of view, and the light bulb turns on. Like, I'm not gonna attack you and be like, oh, you're wrong. No, you're right. I didn't mean it that way. I meant it this way, but I see your point. You know, to that comment. But well, I'm sure we'll get some comments or some feedback here soon enough about that situation, and someone's gonna think they know how to do it. And which, you know, bravo, bravo. What do you have up here? The NBA playoffs.
All right, let's go over this then. I'll put it here. So let's start off with the first round. So Nuggets, you and I.
Yeah, we
Both
already said.
predicted.
Yep.
Now the Suns, we predicted from last week that they'd advance, and they Nuggets and Suns already played. So from the time of this recording, they played yesterday.
Yep. They played yesterday, and they didn't look too hot.
They got outplayed
Yeah.
straight up. The Suns couldn't make their shots. There was a lot of missed opportunities, and the Nuggets were just flawless for the most part, I'd say. Yeah, here some missed rebounds here and there, but overall they had a great performance. So I was really frustrated with the Suns' performance.
We have a final.
A final?
Yeah. Golden State, Sacramento. Don't look, but who do you think won? You had the Kings, huh?
At the Kings.
Yeah, you were wrong.
Oh, Golden State won. They just won.
120 to 100.
120 to 100.
Yes.
That's
They
a
went
blowout.
7. So did the Lakers went 6 though. I mean, they went deep in their game, so they're going to be tired out.
Because then they're expected to play 2 days from now against the Lakers. So
Yeah,
Golden State and
Tuesday.
Lakers.
Tuesday against Lakers.
Okay, so Kings lost. I was wrong in that. We're both right. The Lakers would win. So now it's going to be Warriors and Lakers. So what do you think of this matchup? Two California teams again.
Definitely think let me look at this. I definitely think the Lakers have a chance, but I think the Warriors' firepower is too strong.
It is. I mean, it really is. I mean, they beat a tough team. They really did beat a tough team. Sacramento was really good too.
Yeah, hopefully they continue and they stay good.
So who do you think? Warriors or Lakers?
If I'm a Suns fan, I think I'd rather play the Lakers, but I'm going to go Warriors. I'm going Warriors on this.
I'm going Warriors as well.
Warriors.
Just how they've been clutch lately. It's pretty good. But let's Nuggets and Suns. You and I both
I still think Suns.
think Suns.
I still think they'll figure it out because they lost in Denver. It's expected.
The same way with the Clippers, right? They
Same way.
lost.
Well, they should have
Game
beat the
one.
Clippers game 1, but that's fine. I think I'll go 6 games.
So game 6 will be in Phoenix. So game 6.
Are you sure?
So 2 in Denver, then another 2 in Phoenix.
I
And
think-
it goes 1-1-1-1.
I think this round goes 2-3-2.
2-3-2.
I think from now on it goes 2-3-2.
Okay. I'm wrong about that then.
Yeah. Well, keep talking. I'll look it up while we talk.
No, yeah. Because baseball does that, right?
Well, baseball changes a lot. Basketball changes too.
Yeah, I really thought it was 2-2-1-1-1-1. Okay. While you look that up, I just want to talk more about the Suns and the performance. They did not look like they were in sync. They shut down Booker. That's basically what it was.
Oh, you're right.
I read about what? How it goes 2-2,
It is.
1-1.
Well, as it is right here, it's 2-2-1-1-1. Yeah, Game 6 would be at home,
Game six
and they would win at home.
if they win next game, which is tomorrow. Good chance, decent chance. They just have to figure it out.
They don't play till Friday. The Suns play Friday and Sunday,
Friday and Sunday, yep.
so they'd have the rest of the week off after Monday. So,
Well, they have to figure something out to beat Denver tomorrow.
well, they have to win one in Denver, 2 now, right? In order to win in 6.
Yes, they do.
Joker's awesome. Joker's awesome.
One in Denver. Next 2 games will be home games. They have to win that. They could lose back in Denver, but
And
that's
then-
game 5. But game 6 will be back in Phoenix.
Yep.
That's where I think
So you're hoping they come back 3-2.
they need to win one in Denver. Because if you're the team that you only have 3 home games, you have to win.
Well, you have to win your home games, but you have to win. Obviously, you have to win one in Denver. I think it's going to be game 2.
But
It has to be. I don't see the Suns winning 4 in a row. That's too hard against Denver.
against Denver, yes. I mean, I was just going to say they did it against the Clippers.
Yes, but these aren't the Clippers, and the Clippers did not have Paul George or Kawhi. Come on,
Yeah, this is true.
come on.
This
But
is
we'll see.
very
I mean,
true.
hopefully they
beat-
play to their competition.
They did beat a very weak Clippers team
Very weak.
because they lost 2 of the best players.
Yeah, they're 2 best players. Correct.
And
All right.
Suns are at full strength.
Yep.
They're playing against Denver, who's at full strength. too.
Denver's at full strength. Denver looks good, but I still think we could beat them in 6. Total faith that the Suns can win.
They have to.
I'm a KD fan. Did you see he just signed a lifetime contract with Nike?
I did.
3rd player ever to do that. Who are the other 2?
LeBron and Jordan.
Correct. So KD will have shoe line for the rest of his life.
Do you agree with that?
No.
I know KD
For
is
for
great.
for Jordan, yes, because it's Jordan. And I mean, my daughter wears Jordans. Like that is so crazy. Like I love Jordan 5s. Jordan 5s and Jordan 4s are my favorites.
I would argue that Stephen Curry deserves it because he has at least, 4 championships?
Yeah, but he has it with Under Armour. He didn't have a Nike contract.
But he has a huge contract that's
I
lifetime.
think his might be lifetime.
We could look that up later.
Yeah.
Or someone in the comments.
Someone
will say-
comment. Tell us if Curry has a lifetime with Under Armour. Let us know in the comments. But Durant, I don't know. I've never bought any Durant shoes. I don't think any of them like stood out. I own a couple pairs of LeBrons. I love LeBron shoes. They're pretty dope.
Yeah.
They're pretty aggressive.
We're away from the playoff picture here. So, conference finals, Suns and Lakers.
Yeah.
No, Suns and Warriors.
Your Suns and Warriors, correct.
Just kidding. Okay. Do you want to talk about that, or is that too soon?
Too soon. Let's
soon?
wait.
Okay.
Let's wait 2 weeks
What?
for that to happen.
I'm excited to talk about this part about the Eastern Conference. The Heat beat
Dang
the
it.
Bucks.
I should have wore a Heat hat because I forgot Jimmy Buckets won. That's all right.
Jimmy Butler, man.
Stud. Same cloth. He's cut from the same cloth as Kobe.
Dude.
That guy is a warrior.
I've
Dude, they
seen
won one in
goosebumps.
New York. They won one in New York already.
Yes.
A seed.
Like, man, I didn't see this fire out of them.
Not just that. They beat the Bucks 4-1. The favorite in the East, 4-1.
Bucks are on fire, too.
They were on fire. They just put them out.
And they put them out.
Fireman, Jimmy Buckets.
It's like, wow, dude. Like, I did not see that one coming at all.
I'm happy though. I told you before. I'm a big fan of Jimmy Butler. I love that. He's an athlete. He's a go-getter, man.
I mean, I know he's good, but I didn't know he was that great. And now I'm seeing it.
Great question. Is he good or great?
I mean, if he keeps this performance going on to at least
You have to win a
Conference
championship
finals?
to be great.
the conference finals, I would put him in the great. At least get to the they could lose that.
That's an injured Heat's team too. They got some players that aren't playing and won't play.
Wait, who's hurt right now?
There, Tyler, that one guy, Tyler Harrow or whatever. That guy's pretty legit. He's out. They say that he might be able to come back in the finals.
Because the Knicks are also another good team.
Knicks, I like the Knicks. I used to love the Knicks. I used to love Larry Johnson. Was one of my favorite players back in the day. I followed the Knicks a lot in my early years, and especially when they got Carmelo. I'm a big Carmelo Anthony fan. So when they got Carmelo, I was like, cool. He carries his torch, and Marbury, who's another one of my favorites. But I'm not a Knicks fan at all. Not anymore. Just
Not this season right now.
not for a lot of seasons. I converted to a Suns fan. I'll be honest. I started following the Suns. They're the home team. The new owner's awesome. You know they're going away from cable.
Okay, but we're going off subject here. We'll be back.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll just talk about it later. Okay, we'll talk about that later. So, write it down if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, Knicks, they're a really good team, but the Heat might put them out too, and that'll blow my mind too.
The Heat's gonna win that series. They're hot.
They're so hot right now.
I want to say my favorites. They're the team in the East I want to see go. Right. The thing is, the Knicks, they beat a good Cavs team. Let's not sell it short.
Yeah, I'm not selling it short at all. Like the Knicks are really good too.
They beat the Cavs 4 games to 1.
And the Heat just have one game already above them. They could take that series.
They should be able to. I'm not going to say will.
So good.
Should. They should take that series. Again, I would love to see them get to the finals and lose to the Suns.
I mean, on paper, it should be the Knicks wins this. But how Jimmy Butler is playing?
On paper, the Bucks should have won.
Yes, in addition, right?
Yep.
But, man, Jimmy Butler looks so good right now. If he keeps that going, at least to the conference finals, he's going to have huge contracts, huge endorsement deals.
He should. He's a great athlete. I can't, again, we're going too much on Jimmy buckets here.
I know.
We're fanboying big time. I've always liked him, so I'm a big fan of his. So, Jimmy, if you're out there, you're the man.
Right now.
You are the man. You are cut from the same cloth. You should. He's already a max contract guy, but if you're the Heat, that's your dude. I can't believe the Bulls let him go. That's crazy to me. He was so good in Chicago as well. Like you're crazy. But real quick to end on that, Heat are up 1-0 in that series. They took one today in New York. That is fantastic. Let's see what they do next round because I'm already pushing them to the next round.
So
who do we got next round?
So you and I believe it's going to be the Heat.
Oh, Hunter, I want and in my heart of hearts, I want the Heat to get there because momentum is a lot in the playoffs.
Because we both thought it was the Bucks, so we're forced to change our opinion.
Yeah.
So now Heat next. We both say it's Heat. Okay. Now, 76ers and Celtics. They haven't played each other yet. They play each other tomorrow at the time of this recording.
Yes, this is Sunday. Tomorrow, Monday, they will be playing. That's a good series, man. That is a great series. If you're a basketball fan, especially playoff basketball, that's going to be a beat-up series. I want to see 7 games of this series.
I think it'll be 7.
I want to see 7. We will probably be surprised. Something's going to happen. Boston's good. Joel Embiid's a beast. A beast. So this is going to be a great series. They're ranked, 2 and 3, I think, out of the East? Because I know they were top 4 seeds in their. Oh, I see it right there. Yep, they're ranked 2nd and 3rd in the East.
Yeah, I was wrong. I thought the Hawks would win it as an upset. No,
which was crazy to me. I don't know why.
Upset.
You must have been on mushrooms or something because there's no way. There's no way the Hawks would have won that against the Celtics. Like Celtics are good. I can see the Hawks may beating Cavs. But let's go on that. I'm going to pick right now. I like the Celtics in this, but I want to see Joel Embiid. I want to see the 76ers win this.
I'm going to say Celtics.
Good. So we have something to fight about. All right. So then that's good enough from there. Let's move on from here. Do you want to talk about the Suns deal or do you want to wait till next week?
Let me turn this off. Let's talk about the Suns deal before we go on to our next topic. So, Suns are going to be playing their games locally. Same with Mercury, right? Does that have anything to do with the Bally's Sports Network going bankrupt?
I think it has to do with the new owner of the Suns wanting a bigger reach for his fans.
Do you think that's true, or he's just taking credit for it because of the situation with Bally's?
No, because someone else could. He can go somewhere else with that. He can go to another subscriber or some like Amazon or Hulu or ESPN Sports to take on that.
Yeah, but Bally's covers more than the Suns. They cover so
Oh
many
no,
other
they
teams.
cover the Western region.
Right.
You know, Bally's is big, but they're in that whole. We already talked about this. Bally's, the NBA has to take over those contracts. MLB has to take over a lot of those Bally's contracts because they're going under.
Yeah, Bally's is going under, and
So you think this is a conspiracy that Matskin takes? It was headed there.
if I was the owner, I'd take credit. Like, yeah, I want my
He becomes the
team
hero.
to be on a local TV show. Yeah, easy.
Oh, big
easy
time.
grab.
He had me fooled. If that's what you're telling me is true, that he wants to take credit for something that
Okay.
they were making him do.
If Bally's wasn't going bankrupt, you think you think he'd be taking credit for it right now?
No, because like he's losing money. If he's not on Bally's or another company, yeah, the TV money. He's the owner. You need that TV money to pay salaries.
No, but I'm saying, like, if Bally's wasn't going bankrupt, would the current owner of the Suns still want to be with Bally's or try to get away from Bally's?
I would think business-wise, you would get away from Bally's and go somewhere else.
We're somewhere else or locally where it should be free. I argue it should be free if you're a local.
Of course, it should be free because we live here and we want to see Suns games. We want to see Diamondbacks. I can't even watch the Diamondbacks. And I have MLB package, and it's blacked out. And I hate that. I hate that.
Well, how are you supposed to watch it then?
I have to get DirecTV or Cox or one of these cable channels that have it.
Okay,
And it goes against, it goes against what I want to do. I'm already paying for MLB package. Why can't I watch it on that?
I mean, this is where sports got too greedy. When they inhibit the ability of locals to watch their local sports teams. They're making you buy these subscriptions, these packages. Like, just keep it on a local channel. And if someone out of state wants to watch it, just have it on their packages.
I think you're onto something because what you're saying is I think there's, like in baseball at least, that's why there's a drop in attendance because they can't watch it on their TVs. You come to the stadium or pay for it on one of these streaming services. But you can't be a fan. You don't know who the players are. If you're able to watch a couple games at home, you're like, hey, hon, let's go to the game. They got Evan Longoria now on the team and Christian Walker and this new guy, Carroll. Let's go to a game. It becomes fun because you know who they are.
When you stop watching on TV, you stop tracking, why do you even care to go to the stadium anymore?
Exactly.
It happened to me with ASU football games because you can't watch the home games on TV.
No, we
you can
can't.
only watch the away games on TV. So I'm flipping the channel. Oh, they're playing at home. I'm not at the stadium, and then I lose track of following the team, and I don't know what's going on with it anymore because I
Correct.
can't really follow my team anymore. I lost interest.
Yeah, because you can't follow them. You can't watch them on a daily basis, especially baseball. It's on almost every day. You should be able to watch it on TV for free, like they do with the Suns, so you can get to know the players.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Zach Gallen. He's going to pitch on what day? Cool. I'm going to go see him. I'm going to take the family and go watch him at the stadium. But why show up at the stadium? Say, you get a ticket to the stadium, you go there and you're like, I don't know 8 of these 9 players in the starting lineup because I don't follow the Diamondbacks because they're not on TV.
Yeah, and they want me to buy DirecTV, pay a huge amount for it.
They
So I
force
can
you.
watch my sports games, and they're littered in commercials that I'm trying to get away from.
Advertisement like crazy.
Like, F you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I love baseball, but man, if you're putting me through all these hurdles, I'm losing interest.
No, I'm with you 100%. I lose interest. I think it's free. Suns being on TV doesn't affect us this year. It will next year, which is cool. So now we can watch Suns games and be more into the games because the Suns are going to sell out. So he's not worried about that, right? They're sold out. They raised the prices. They're going to get it because they got Kevin Durant.
Well, you have a hot team. I get it, but when your team's just average or
No
trying
one
to work
goes.
their way up,
No one goes.
no one goes. Well,
That was recent with the Suns too.
well, it's a situation right now with the Dimebacks.
Yeah, no one goes.
No one goes, and you can't really watch it for free on TV.
They're a fun young
So-
team too.
Yeah, like if I could watch them for free on a local channel
Oh,
and build up
obviously.
my excitement,
Yes.
I will make plans to watch them live.
100%.
But right now, it's like, oh, I can't watch them, so I have no excitement,
It sucks.
and I'm not gonna go buy a ticket because I'm not tracking.
And I was like this close to getting DirecTV and saying, screw it, I need to see the Diamondbacks. And I'm like, you know what? I got the internet. I'll watch highlights.
DirecTV? Like,
It's expensive. I was looking at the packages,
$100
over
plus.
$100 for the cheapest package. You guys are ripping us off, man.
plus commercials.
Oh, plus all that advertisement. Plus they charge you per unit.
Like, F you, dude. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it.
I hate you guys.
I'm not doing it. So now Suns will be free. More excited about that.
Hopefully the Diamondbacks follow suit, but they won't. They're greedy.
What about the Coyotes?
Man, Coyotes, they might be free. I don't know. I haven't followed them in a long time because they're in the west side. They're too far away. I go to one game a year when the Penguins come in town. That's it.
Well, okay.
I don't even follow the Coyotes because they're not on TV.
Well, let me talk about the Coyotes. Are they just a team that people just beat up on now? You're only selling tickets for people to visit town. It's by the college, so maybe those college kids will see their team beat up the Coyotes.
Those tickets are expensive because they're sharing a stadium with the Sun Devils.
Right. So is the Coyotes just a beat up team?
It's that team does not. They have one good player, Keller. That's it. He's a stud, but he has no one else around him.
He'll get traded soon.
Yeah, we traded away all our good players, so
I mean, the Coyotes could be where players come in to retire.
yep.
This way they sell tickets. Oh, my favorite player from my old team is now with the Coyotes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go watch them.
Dude, I remember when I was a kid, Jeremy Roenick was my favorite player on the Coyotes. Such a stud. Keith Kachuk was here for a little bit. I didn't like Kachuk because he told the front office that he didn't like Teemu Solani. I don't know if you remember that guy. Solani was a stud hockey player that Keith Kachuk didn't like, and they traded him away, and he ended up being one of the top NHL players in the history of the game. Top goal scorer, just a stud. So, but besides that, well, we had Shane Doan, who was, a very likable player. But besides that,
Well, how long did Shane Dunn play for the Coyotes?
15 years.
It was his whole career, right? He was like that close for being the top Arizona athlete. Because like right now, Mr. Arizona in sports is Devin Booker. Before that was Larry Fitzgerald.
I still
right?
put Fitzgerald ahead of Booker.
Well, Fitzgerald doesn't play,
Oh, okay. So I'm saying active. So you're
so active. But
okay.
but
Mr. Arizona
Dunn
has to be an active player.
Dunn was active during Fitzgerald years.
You wouldn't put Kyler Murray there?
Kyler Murray?
Yeah.
No,
Really?
no.
Yeah, either would I.
Either way, right now it's Devin Booker for Arizona. He is Mr. Arizona.
Do you think Durant will pass him?
No, because Devin Booker's been here longer.
Yeah.
He's been here like he'll probably retire here, or
I
maybe
don't know if he'll retire here, but he'll be here for a while. Booker has a lot of potential. He's Hispanic. He's part
Half.
Hispanic. The half.
Half.
I'll take it. I will take that half.
no hablas español. That's okay.
It's okay. There's Danny, so that's good. We are good on that. No, but I'm serious. You're right. It is Booker. 100%. I'm just giving you crap, but it is Booker. For me, it's Booker. If he wins a championship, that is awesome. Like, he will be Mr. Arizona for a long time.
Well,
Until
I
you,
could argue Luis Gonzalez. He got the championship. I thought he was Mr. Arizona at one point in time.
yeah, at one point in time, but he only had one good year. I don't want to say anything bad about him.
Championship run?
He had that and he had the game when he hit. So you can't take that away from him. You're right. He is the reigning champ, and he had a great year.
Well, he's the current. I mean, previous Mr. Arizona in sports. He's the only one with the championship because Charles Barkley didn't get it.
Yeah, but I love Charles Barkley. I still do.
I still do.
I still have that Barkley jersey. Oh my God, it doesn't fit, but it's still. When I was a kid, and he was here, dude. Oh my gosh, Charles Barkley was legit. There's so much hype when we got Barkley. I felt like that's the same thing we got with Kevin Durant. When Kevin Durant came, I was like, oh my gosh, we're a top 2 team.
How long did it take Barkley to get the Suns to the championship?
True. I could not answer that. I already blocked that right away.
One championship. I mean, it was against the Bulls with Michael Jordan.
You're not going to beat
unfortunately.
Michael Jordan, man. Michael Jordan's arguably the best player ever.
Because the Suns have been to the championship 3 times now.
I would have to consult with you on that. I'll agree with you, but I would say 2.
Well, we know Barkley and with Devin Booker, right?
Oh, and then
There's one in
Arsdale.
the 70s.
Arsdale back in the day. Yeah.
So
Maybe. I don't know. Someone's going to comment. I totally screwed that up. I was making that up. I think they went with Arsdale, but I can't remember. Might have been a bad dream, but whatever.
someone will comment. I'm
Please
not looking
comment.
through the internet
Again,
right now.
we're not scripted, so we don't have all the answers. We talk about stuff that comes to our minds, but that's about it. What else we want to talk about? Not to cut you off.
We can talk about the draft. Do you want to go through the draft picks?
Yes, we just had the draft this last weekend. No surprise at 1. 2, kind of knew that was going to happen. 3, Texans got a great. Oh, the Texans went 2 and 3. They did pretty good right there. I'm actually not very surprised, but number 4, the Colts.
For the people who are listening to the audio.
Oh, okay. So Anthony Richardson, quarterback from Florida, went forward to Indianapolis. I was surprised. I thought they were taking Will Levis, 100%. I thought Will Levis was a tad bit better, but I'm not a scout, so we'll see.
Real quick, number 1 pick.
Bryce Young, quarterback Alabama. Everyone thought that was a lock. Everyone knew that was going to happen,
He went to Panthers.
except Bryce Young. He didn't know. I mean, they didn't have most of the times. The teams are already negotiating your contracts before they draft you. That didn't happen this year. Bryce Young really didn't know if he was going or not. C.J. Stroud, quarterback of Ohio State, went to the Houston Texans. You know, I was 50-50 on that because I thought they were going to take Will Anderson there, but they traded up with the Cardinals to get Will Anderson at number 3, which, wow, that was pretty big. Again, Anthony Richardson went to the Colts at 4. Number 5, Devin Witherspoon, cornerback from Illinois. I thought that Oregon cornerback was a little bit better, but that's fine. And then the Cardinals traded up to draft Paris Johnson Jr., an outside tackle from Ohio State. Do you like I know you're a Cardinals fan. Do you like this pick?
Yes, but the Cardinals need a lot of work. And their O-line has always been bad. Always been bad. Every quarterback who's had to deal with the Cardinals O-line has always had to run for their lives. That's why Kyle Murray is good, because he can run away.
True.
So having someone that can just give that quarterback an extra second or two helps out so much. So it's much needed. So as we go down, you'll see who they picked up to help with that O-line.
Are you surprised that D-Hop didn't get traded yet?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised because
I'm really surprised that they couldn't get any draft capital for him.
the Cardinals,
So now you're stuck with him.
the Cardinals are notorious for picking up so many wide receivers, more than they can handle. And they have D-Hop, who's arguably one of the best right now in the league right now.
We have no one throwing the ball to him.
Kyler Murray,
He's hurt.
for right now, yeah.
He's going to miss at least half the season,
He's not going to
right?
be covered by the season?
No.
Damn.
I'm not a doctor, but I thought I read something that he's not gonna start the season.
Yeah.
And it could be, depending on how he recovers, that he doesn't play at all.
I mean, this is a rebuild.
Well, he's going to play Call of Duty, but not football.
Oh, no, right. This is a rebuild year for the Cardinals, really.
Yeah. It's sad but true, like Metallica said. But so you got that. Raiders, I'm a Raiders fan. This guy from Texas Tech, Tyree Wilson, I like the pick. Don't love it, but I like it, okay? This pick right here, number 8, Atlanta Falcons decided to go running back early, which lately running backs don't go first round, which is weird. So they went with the running back from Texas, and I'm telling you, this kid, Bijan Robinson, is a stud. A stud. So I like that for them. The Eagles at number 9 just went with Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia, who was ranked number 1 in the whole draft. Because of character, he slipped. And because of that, the Eagles, the rich got richer. So good for him. Anything else besides this? Nothing else really sticks out. Green Bay Packers 13. Lucas Van Ness, the linebacker from Iowa, is pretty good. There you go. The Christian Gonzalez, cornerback from Oregon. That's the guy I thought would be the number 1 cornerback. Zay Flowers, receiver from Boston College, going to the Ravens. I like that. Besides that, there's no real big surprises on this draft, so that's good. Go to the second round, and then we'll be done with this because I want to go. I want to see, and there's only 31 picks because obviously the Dolphins got in trouble for tampering with Tom Brady, and so they got their pick taken away from them this year. Will Levis ended up going to Tennessee. Not bad. I think he'll do well there. So we'll see. The only thing I don't like about Will Levis, and I don't know if you saw this, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. You gotta watch the video. It's freaking weird. I'm not gonna try it. And if anyone out there, if you tried it, let me know. If you think it's good, awesome. I'm not gonna try it. It grosses me out. The first pick in the first pick in the second round, Joey Porter Jr. I love this cornerback from Penn State because his dad is a legend in the Steelers. The 32nd pick should have been a first rounder, but is the first pick in the second round. So I love that. But besides that, nothing else stuck out in this draft for me. What about you? What are your comments on this?
I mean, for me, it's what the Cardinals picked up. They picked up a quarterback, another wide receiver, or maybe two. They picked up a guard, which is necessary. They need that O-line to work up.
They need a lot of help. The
They need
Cardinals.
so much help.
Ugh, just like my Raiders, they need a lot of help.
I'm gonna go ahead and click this off, but I mean, yeah, I have high hopes for the Cardinals' new head coach.
Well, you have to have high hopes if you're a fan.
Well, yeah, if you're a fan, yeah.
If you're a fan, you gotta drink the Kool-Aid. So it's gonna be a tough season for you guys. I'm gonna say right now, and correct me if I'm wrong. You got 4 wins coming to you. 4 wins.
Always,
That's it. 4 wins.
I know, like,
I can't tell you what teams those are, but I'm telling you, I only foreshadow 4 wins for the Cardinals.
it's
You have a good pick next year.
next year they got like first overall and number 3 in the first round.
We have 2 first rounds, I think, next year.
Yeah, number 1 and number 3 overall
Well, it's not.
next year.
They're not number 1 overall yet because the season hasn't played yet.
Oh, I thought they were like guaranteed for it.
No. So if they only win 4 games and they're, say, bottom 3 teams, then they're guaranteed a top 3 pick. So it's going to go off of this season coming up. That's why I think they're going to be pretty high up. So what if you, because the quarterback from UCLA or USC is going to be in the draft, Caleb Williams. If you're the Cardinals, do you miss out on that? Do you just go ahead and say, well, the Kyler Murray experiment is no good? So we'll see what happens on that.
Okay, let's see. What else should we bring up?
So okay. So this is something that someone brought up, and we had an argument about this, and they're a subscriber. So they were telling me that, oh yeah, Serena Williams could definitely beat one of the top guys in tennis. And it's like, no, she can't. She admitted she can't. No, she could totally beat a top tennis player. So she went out and said, her and her sister said, hey, we will play a male, but you can't be a top 200 player. You have to be outside the top 200 to challenge, to play us. So what happens? Number 201 says, I'm game. And so ends up playing him, and he beats Serena 6-1, I think, and then beats her sister 6-2. That tells me right there, the best women's tennis player cannot hang with the men's.
I mean, is that something we really need to like shove in the face, or just be like, hey, we need a separation? Because if a mediocre male athlete wants to just switch over and become the best,
there's more to this story, but continue with your analogy because I'm going to throw something in your face like pie.
I'll just throw it anyway.
No, continue.
All right, fine. So yeah, mediocre professional player, switch over women's, and gets ranked really high. Now, a lot of activists say that's okay, that should be allowed. They're transitioning, they're taking hormonal therapy, suppressions, whatever they got going on, operations, and they're able to compete at that level. More equality, Man, there's no difference in men and women physically.
There's a big difference, and if you say there isn't, we're done talking. There's just too many facts. There's way too much science behind it. There's too much proof behind it. There's transgender women, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, a man wants becoming a woman in MMA. And they are destroying these girls, like fractured skulls. That doesn't happen in the women versus women fights. It never happens. But these transgender women come in and they beat the crap out of these chicks, like really bad. There's your proof. And Leah Thomas, I think that's her name, Leah Thomas, the swimmer, was, there's so much commotion with that. There's two sides of that story, but she was a mediocre men's swimmer, and Leah Thomas gendered into a woman, and is just beating the crap out of all these women, right? Is it fair? I don't know. I don't think it is, because you're taking away scholarships and trophies away from biological women. I think we're at the point where we're big enough where we can have a transgender division. Why not include a transgender division? And well, I don't have the answers.
Neither do I. I mean,
I don't, because again, we have family members that are transitioning, and it's just like,
should we have 3 where it's like female, male, and open?
you know what? Yeah, an open.
Just call it open.
Call it an
Male,
open.
female, transgenders, whatever.
And open, where
But then everyone's going to want to have only males.
would be.
Okay,
But you don't ever see it the other way around, though, right? You never see transgender men competing. They don't, because they're women that want to be men. They can't get anywhere close to competition because they're way behind the 8 ball. But man, that's a good. And now what you just said, I don't know. We don't have the answers, but like an open division would be.
Let me ask you this: you coach soccer, so
Yeah.
what if like someone who's a mediocre male switches over to the girls' league? How would that person compete if you were to judge?
At the ages I coach, U14, there's a little difference, but not enough that's gonna be leaps and bounds. I think when you get closer to high school level, I think that would definitely you would start seeing a difference. Definitely college and pro, you definitely would see a difference. But I think once puberty hits for these kids and they go through their cycles, yeah, I think there's a big difference. Men's soccer, touchy subject.
It is a touchy subject.
subject.
And again, we don't have the answers at all.
Correct.
We
But
just see
anyone in the comments, you can say what you want. But it's there's no right and wrong. There really isn't, because there's, again, what we always say, there's 2 sides to every story, and
Right.
both stories are compelling, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. So
But you have to, if they just kept it men and women and just have women try to go compete in the males, and we wish that woman the best of luck.
but you ain't gonna do anything. You ain't gonna get anything.
We came close to having a female kicker in the NFL.
I could see that happening still. It's close, because
That-
women.
That woman would get so much support.
I would get behind that, because lower body wise, women and men are pretty close. Like there's upper bodies where you have the difference, and you can argue all you want, but there's a lot of proof to male versus female upper body strength. There's a lot of science behind it. Lower body, I feel from what I've seen, pound for pound, women and men are pretty even.
Oh yeah.
Pretty even on lower body. 100%.
Didn't get there. Maybe soccer.
Soccer's a close one, but there's again touchy subject because there's a lot of the women's team have lost to high school boys
I've heard
by a
about that.
lot. There's just go on the internet, you'll see it's all over. All these different countries, even Australia, where their national women's team lost to high school kids. So it is what it is.
But that's just sports, and I
Is
think
it?
some of this subject came up because Joe Rogan gets a lot of heat for it. If it's only about sports, he's like, we can't have these transitions from men to women compete in women's sports.
As a father, I think it's, and my daughter lost a scholarship because of that, I'd be mad. And you could say what you want, then don't take her scholarship away from me. Add an extra one. Like you said, open, like have like an asterisk. Oh, this is a transgender woman, so we'll add an extra scholarship or an extra spot to the team. Because a lot of time, I don't know if it's a one-off or nothing, but
But you also can't win because now there's other activists who are saying stop using the word trans. They're a woman, just call them a woman. They're a man, call them a man. It's like, well, that woman looks a lot like a man, but you want me to call her a woman?
or like the
Make her feel
GameStop. I'm a ma'am. Yeah,
it's man.
you're a scary ma'am. I'll tell you that right now. Like I would be scared of you. Like you're that. Different story. Let's go on this new subject here real quick because we're pretty far into the show. 15 reasons why married people cheat. Married people, not just like boyfriend girlfriend. That happens all the time. And in reality, I give it a pass because you're not married. I'm big. I'm against this. Like I'm against. I have a lot of friends that are married and they've been cheated on. It sucks to see what they go through, especially if they have a family, they have kids. I hate that. That's my probably number one things I hate to see in my friends' relationships is someone stepping out.
Well, you and I both agree that, and a lot of people agree that it's not good to cheat when you're in a marriage. It's just trying to understand why it happens.
Yeah, because there's a lot of reasons. Some could be good. Some are like just selfish. Let's just leave it there. Selfish, right? So let's go down the list. We have what? Self-discovery. What do you think self-discovery is? Like you've
What's their definition here? Once a person has been married for a while, they start feeling like there's something more in life. They start to look for it outside of their marriage. The thrill of turning a new leaf clouds people's judgment and they end up making mistakes such as cheating on their partner. So what is that? You've been in a relationship for so long, someone else gives you attention, you get excited, you feel like you're worth something again, you pursue it.
and it happens a lot because I think you get comfortable. You get comfortable in a marriage. I'm not saying me, but like you stop doing things because you have kids and you think everything's fine, but you're not taking into account how that other person's feeling in the relationship, right? What if they're getting compliments at work? What if people are noticing them at the gym, right?
I mean, that's one of them that you hear from people like the romance is gone, the love is gone, they don't pay attention to me, they barely notice me. They find someone else who notices them.
Well, that happens a lot. A lot of married couples go through the motion because they have kids and they work Monday through Friday, sometimes Monday through Saturday. You have the one day off and you're too tired to do anything, right? And you have the kids, you're doing stuff with the kids. That happens a lot because you see a lot of people getting divorced once the kids are old enough, which sucks. It sucks. The self-discovery, yeah, I mean, start paying attention out there. If you're not paying attention to your spouse, your significant other, someone else is going to. That's just how life is.
Take a self audit. Stop thinking about yourself. Think about your family. Think about your wife.
Exactly.
Think about what your wife is thinking on a day to day. Not what she's thinking, but like, how have you been treating your wife lately? And we do the reverse. As a woman, think about your husband. How do they feel lately? Like, how have you treated them lately? Have you been encouraging them, or have you been putting them down lately? Like, have
You
been
can't
lifting
argue.
them up?
You can't fight. You can't fight. You can't put them down because then that leads to a lot of anger.
But then that's a war. Like, why do I have to say something? They don't give me attention either.
True. Then don't think about yourself. Think about their point of view. You're not getting attention. Give them attention. You don't get it back, then you know there's an issue. So what's number 2? Fear of aging. What's that? At some point in their lives, married people compare themselves to hardy young people, including their younger selves. This may be tempted to see if there's still juice in them. I can agree with that. I think the older you get, you don't realize until you look in the mirror, the grays, the wrinkles, you don't recognize yourself. And you still see younger people and you're like, yeah, I could still pull that, or I could still talk to that, and that's not the case. Like,
Do you still have game?
you think you still have game because you've been out of the game. You've been retired too long. You can't just jump in there and think, what do you have to offer? Hey, hi, I'm a married man of 2 kids. It's not going to work. It doesn't work. It's a fantasy in your mind. So just don't do it. It's just a fantasy because, it's that famous Matthew McConaughey line. What I like about high school girls, I get old and they stay the same age. It's like, I think it's Dazed and Confused.
What's the threshold of the age? Like, when's too young?
Too young for what?
For men to be attracted to some woman. Like age of cage. Like 10 years apart, separation, maybe 15.
Depends. I have a buddy who's 20 years difference. And I think he started dating her when she was 18, which I was like, damn, you're 38, bro.
Can't get a drink together.
Yeah, they didn't. And you know who you are. But they're happy they're together. They have a kid, which is crazy, but it works.
I'm happy that it works.
It works, But you're right. 20 years is a long time. At that age, 18, 38, that's a long time. But if you're older, I think 60s and 40s isn't bad, right? That's not too much of a difference. I think 10 years, maybe. I have some friends that have a 10-year difference, and it works perfect. Women and men supposedly peak at different times, and 10 years is that gap. So who knows?
Let's go with the next one. Boredom. Been there, done that with your partner and back. Things start to look boring, and once everything becomes repetitive and predictable. I wonder what you say about that. Like, people get bored in the marriage, right?
It's going through the motions. You get bored because you're going to soccer practices, tumbling classes, you're taking your kids to cheer, you're helping them with their homework, and by the time you're done with that, it's already 9 o'clock. There's nothing left. You're tired. Your spouse is tired. Nothing happens. So, you get stuck in that boredom, and it goes back to someone else pays you attention, something new, something different than what you're trained and what you've been doing.
Yeah, because
gets you excited.
The honeymoon phase is over.
Yeah.
So what excitement is there to look forward to?
Correct. Well, that's when you create your own excitement. You still got to do the date nights. You still got to, there's a lot of things you can do. We'll talk about that later. But for this, why people cheat, keep it there. What's next?
All right. Misaligned sex drive.
So basically, misaligned. So this goes to like, as a guy, you still, I guess, want to still have sex every night, and your wife's like, no, or vice versa. Your wife wants to have sex, or your spouse wants to have sex, but you can't perform, or you don't have the drive. Maybe because you're stuck in that boredom. There's no excitement, so you're not excited. So that's what I think that is.
Or they don't like seeing them naked anymore.
That sucks. Oh, that sucks. Wow, you just cut like a knife, and that happens a lot. I have friends that say that, like, I hate to hear that.
It's true though.
Oh, I hate to hear that.
They can't say it out loud to their significant other because they know it's such a blow. But like they kind of work around it, or they just end the relationship and say it's something else.
Yeah, that happens a lot. That's why people divorce, I guess, or cheat, or I don't know. That not to get personal, but that has happened to someone in our family, and it sucks.
My significant other.
Yeah, saying, "Oh,
30 pounds. Yeah. It's hard for me to get aroused by this."
A friend like that too recently said the same thing, and I'm like,
Secretary's been
fucking work on it.
Sorry,
Professor. Yeah, work on it. Work on your relationship, man. Like, then yeah, you're right. It's the secretary showing me all this attention. Like, dude,
What do you do though? Like, how do you tell
you
your
cheat.
significant other?
No, you don't cheat.
No.
You can't. You can't. It
What do you think?
depends. It really depends. I mean, if you have a family, you have to work on it. If you're, I don't know, because I can't get on the train of justifying someone cheating on their wife.
I mean, ultimately, yes.
I can justify you telling her, hey, I want a divorce because I'm not happy, and then meeting someone else or doing something else. But while you're married, I mean, then those vows didn't mean anything,
Sure.
right? So
What
I
do you do
hate
if your
that.
significant other gained like 50 pounds? Like, hey, I still love you, but I'm not. We're not having sex anymore. I'd like to have sex again.
That's a big reason why people, and I'm to be honest, that's why people get divorced. There's no sex.
That's a huge one. So how do you get back to sex?
You have to work on yourself. And if it's your significant other that you think like,
Well, you don't want your significant other to feel like it's their fault, though.
then you do stuff together. You know, you say, hey, let's start eating healthy. Let's start doing this. I have friends that did that and they're happy that hey, this isn't working. What if we both do this? And then because you can't sit there and tell your significant other to eat salad and you're having pizza. If you're gonna have to put in the work as well, and going to the gym together helps. Eating healthy helps.
Accomplish something together.
Together. Yeah, same goals. But yeah, that's a big one. What's next on the list?
Escapism. It's like boredom. It's like just
Same
getting
thing.
away.
Yeah, you escape your reality because you probably think your life sucks, right? Or you're bored, or you're not getting any. Like just like we said, you're not getting sex. For a guy, if we're not getting sex, like it triggers us. I'll be honest. You start thinking crazy thoughts. It just does. We can't help it, but it's just there. What's next? Emotional, deep
Deprivation.
juggling, child. The same thing. I mean, these are a lot of the same things. You have the chores, romances. Eventually start looking at missing fun and stuff like that.
Just like I'm not being treated special anymore. Someone else is making me feel special again.
So yeah, why is a stranger making me feel special and I'm not being special at my own house? Yes.
Another one's revenge.
Revenge. What kind of revenge? Like your significant other is talking to someone and you don't like it and you go out and do something? I have a friend like that at the gym that her husband has a work friend. So weird. Like I would never do this. I don't know why people like think this is good. She feels threatened by his work friend because she's an attractive woman and she's single and they have happy hours together. Just them. So she doesn't like it. And I asked her, do they invite you? She goes, no, it's just them two. And it's a friend. And he's like, oh, she's like a buddy. No. We both know if you're going one-on-one with a friend, opposite sex, it doesn't work. There's always that attraction. You're drinking, a little alcohol, a little bit of the truth comes out.
Deep, intimate conversations.
Deep, intimate conversations. You start
Click. You're flowing. You're vibing.
you feeling it, and you're like thinking in the back of your mind, what if I was with this person instead? We're having a good time. So
This is why I don't believe men and women can be just friends.
they cannot just be friends, no matter
One
what.
of them
No.
on either side will
One
eventually
will-
develop
yep,
feelings
one-
with others,
Yep.
especially if they're single.
Oh, it happens all the time. That's not. And well, it also happens if you're married.
Oh, it could happen. Yeah.
It does happen because when you're married, you're almost like, well, I have too much to lose, and so does she. If the truth ever came out, if we ever got caught, we would.
People love the excitement, the taboo of it.
It is. That's where I was going. They like the excitement. Exactly.
I know.
And to them, it's a game, and it's a shitty game. Don't play it.
There's one revenge of one income in the house, typically the man. Woman's frustrated because maybe her husband cut her off on some funds.
Oh,
and
that's
she
a good
feels
one.
powerless.
That's
but
a good
does
one.
revenge
I,
for sex with someone else. Say, you hurt me one way, I'll hurt you another way.
Yep. That could. Yeah, that's a good one. Or I went out with my guy friend because he bought me dinner. You cut me off. You don't take me to dinner.
Yeah,
And that's on you though for not taking your significant other out to dinner.
it's struck along. Selfishness.
No, it's like we talked about in this conversation.
Well,
Not really.
let me elaborate on that. 'Cause
Yeah.
some guys, I'll go with guys because we're guys. Some guys think that they're shit, that they can get away with anything.
It goes both ways.
Both ways for sure.
Because women that have accounts like on TikTok and stuff, taking pictures of themselves, and you're with someone, like, come on. Guys, even if you're not the jealous type, that's not cool, right? Like, how would you like your girlfriend that you're dating, especially your wife? I see all these people on TikTok and Instagram taking pictures of them, and I see them, their profiles on Facebook, pictures, and I ask my wife, hey, so-and-so, are they divorced? No, why? Why is it just pictures of her and her kids? And he's not around. Oh, he probably doesn't want to be in the pictures. Like, no man wants you taking pictures of your family and you're not in them. Not me, at least. I'd be like, hell no. But to that point, selfishness, I see a lot of, it could happen with the guys too, but more with the women on TikTok and social media, filming themselves that are married. And I'm like, why do you need to do this?
Are they cheating?
Don't you think it's a form of cheating?
Well,
Someone slides into your DM and you start having conversations.
Okay, then we're splitting hairs about emotional cheating and physical cheating.
Cheating's cheating, bro.
Cheating's cheating?
Cheating's cheating because we can't be splitting hairs on that.
Okay.
How would you feel if your girlfriend did that? Was having conversations, intimate conversations with strangers? Like, if it was my wife, I'd be like, no, officer, I haven't seen her for a couple days. You know, like you would get mad, dude. That's cheating. If I did that, I know what I'm thinking. I'm cheating. Why do I need someone else's, like, why do I need to converse with someone intimately? That's not my wife.
Yeah. Well, with conversations, I mean, it could be miscued or misunderstood.
100%.
Sure. Like if it was a coworker, like maybe they use emojis, and someone be like, "Why are they sending emojis?" Well, no, my coworker just talks in emojis.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's not.
I hate emojis.
There's some benefit of doubt.
There's no clear cut what it means.
So
Right.
like I get it. It's like this is,
Yep.
some people like to dabble in that or get in between your marriage.
Yeah.
But one last thing on selfishness. I was going back to the guys. They could be the rich, handsome, tall, funny guy, the type of guy that women want. She probably thinks he's a high value person. He get any woman he wants. It's
That's
like,
selfish.
yeah, you act up. I'm gonna go with another woman.
And we know of those people.
We absolutely do.
You're a jerk.
Another one's money problems.
Money's a big one.
Yep, money. Yeah. Lose your job. Woman's gonna just cheat.
Well, that would suck. Then that wasn't a good woman. And
But it happens all the time.
yeah, you're not a good woman if you're not going to stand. It goes back to why did you do your vows, for better or for worse?
For worse is up. What are you doing? Are you gonna keep those words? Because
Right.
money is a huge part of divorce.
Yeah, it is. It is big time. Self-esteem. Next.
Yeah, we talked about that one already.
Yeah, we already have that.
Most part.
Sex addiction. That's a good one. That's a good one because it goes back to, it could be either guy or girl that wants sex all the time because they feel good, because it feels good. And you're either too bored, not bored, too tired, because you could be tired. I hate to say this, but I've been super tired where like my head hits that pillow, I'm dead asleep. I can't get up for anything. And it happens both ways. But if you're the type that needs it all the time and you're not getting it for whatever reason, and it could be like something like there's, women issues or guy issues, right? There could be a valid reason why you're not having sex. But if you're a sex addict and you're not getting sex, there's a problem.
I think that goes on with the sex drive, right? That they mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
There's an imbalance.
Yeah, there's an imbalance in the sex drives, yes.
Poor boundaries. Okay, let me read this one. It's important to set proper boundaries with people. You should always know what is acceptable or unacceptable for you. People with poor boundaries have a high risk of getting involved with extramarital affairs. Such people might have a problem saying no or rejecting others.
It goes back to what is acceptable. The whole story about going with, hanging out with a friend that's the opposite sex and saying we're just friends. You're setting up poor boundaries by letting that slide. You let it slide once, you think it's not going to happen again, and it keeps going on, keep going on. Now it's out of control, and you didn't set a precedence for it, and now you can't take it back.
Going back to say, can men and women be friends?
No,
Just
we already know
friends.
that. No,
All right.
no.
Oh, 13. This is interesting. Exposure to a lot of porn.
Back them someone has. Porn's a problem.
Well, I think it goes back to if you start losing attraction to your significant other, especially physically, you probably retreat back to porn, and you'd rather just watch porn than have sex with your significant other.
Ugh, that's horrible. Can you imagine coming home and your spouse is watching porn on TV, and you're like, "What's going on?" Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
tough
haven't
one.
and you haven't had sex in a couple days.
It's like, oh, okay, you always tell me you're tired, this and that. You always have your excuses, but you have no problem, watching porn and release one. And you could just save that for me.
Yeah, that's an issue. That could be an issue. All right, internet's the same thing though. Internet, you're watching porn on the internet. What else do you do on the internet? You can't get it.
Chat with other people.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, DMs and stuff. Yeah, no.
DMs, or they make another account for like the dating apps. They just want to chat. Maybe chatting leads to
This
another.
is a friend app. I'm just meeting friends. I need friends. Why?
Doing it for business.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard people say that.
I hear that excuse all the time, and I tell my buddies that's BS.
That's a red flag.
Super red flag. Just no.
Yeah,
You're
I'm only
right.
on this dating app for business purposes. Oh, okay. What business is that?
Oh, I've dated girls that I caught. I hate to be, I caught them on their phones chatting with someone else. I'm like, I'm right here. What are you saying? You read, you see it on their phone. They get up to go to the bathroom or something. Their phone's right there, and incoming text. And on incoming text, you see it say, quick, who's it from? You're like, who's John? Hit it. John's history of talking to her. Oh my God.
Let me ask you this: for married couples, if your significant other feels uneasy of you going into their phone, that's a red flag. What are you hiding? that they
If
shouldn't
it's
know about?
me, my wife can go through my phone because I have nothing to hide except receipts of things I bought at the store. Because I always hit do you want a receipt or internet? Internet. If I go through her phone and she got mad, that would be a red flag. What do you want me to see?
I mean, what's the primary reason to look through the phone?
I think when you're dating, that's you want to be private because you're just dating. You don't know if this is the guy. But if you're married, yes, it's a red flag. You're married. Here's my phone. Here's my email accounts. We're one. I have nothing to hide. Here's my bank statements. What else do you need?
I think that's a big one. If you're truly in love with someone and you're ready to take the next step and marry them, you have to be comfortable with them going through your phone.
Yeah, 100%. I
If
agree.
you're not, it's probably not going to be a healthy marriage.
Nope. And what's the last one on this one?
Obvious opportunities: when people travel a lot of their work or any other reason and stay away from their partner a lot, they might think of cheating as a perfect opportunity. So people who travel for work or
I hear this all the time. Stories, yeah. People that travel and they hook up at a convention. Happens all the time.
I mean, people do it if they can get away with it easily.
And they do get away with it easily. Who's going to know? Unless she turns up pregnant.
Or they caught an STD.
Oh, man, I got a story on that one. I have a friend of mine who caught one from a coworker that I used to work with. And this is a couple that we were friends with. She thought I knew about the relationship. I was cut off guard. I didn't know he was cheating on you. She caught an STD. I don't want to say which one, because if I do, they're going to know who it is. And it's one of the ones that you have for life. And they obviously they're divorced now, but he was having parties at his house when she was out of town. She was doing the traveling, and he was like having parties when she was out of town. Like, hey, I'm having a party Thursday night. So that's weird. Who has a party Thursday night? And then you hear about it Friday morning. Yeah, we had all these chicks over. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So if you
You,
travel a lot, should
yeah.
you come back home early unannounced?
I mean, why not?
You'll be
Why do you have to
surprised. Like
hide?
I brought flowers, surprise,
Oh, and that happens, and then
and
they're
they walk in,
yeah,
it's an
yeah.
orgy.
And those are true stories, and that sucks, man. It's better to know now than just stay married your whole life. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, to me, that would be such a dagger. If you're a married man and you've been cheated on, I feel for you like
And the
so
opposite
much.
too. Woman
I
who's been
wouldn't
cheated
cheat.
on.
It would because if you, I think you're a POS if you cheat.
Mm-hmm.
That's especially if you have kids. Not so much if it's just you and your wife. I can probably give you a pass because maybe you fight a lot, you don't get along. People do, you know, you don't have much invested in the family yet. But if you have kids and you cheat, if you're my friend and you cheat on your wife and you have kids, dude, I think you're a POS.
You didn't just cheat on your wife; you cheated on your family.
You cheat on your kids, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the way I look at it. You cheated on your kids. You just taught them, showed them who you are. That you care more about this fling than their love.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. I could never be at home thinking, "Oh, what's my ex-wife's new boyfriend telling my kids or tucking them in?"
That's a tough one.
That would break my heart, man. That would break my heart in so many pieces, and it would break my heart if it was one of my friends that did that to their wives. Like, I'm cool with you saying I don't love you. Let's get a divorce and go your other way. 100% acceptable. 100% acceptable. But if you cheat on her and have a history of cheating on her, and then you got caught, say you gave your wife an STD, or you just got caught, right? Like I have friends that got caught out in downtown Chandler with someone else. I'm like, dude, are you serious? And then I had one last year that got caught in Glendale, like on the other side of town on a date. Someone that knew my friend took a picture, sent it to his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and his wife was mad. And that they're going through separation, counseling, might get back together, but once a cheater, always a cheater. Do you think? Or do you think you can repent from that?
Like I want to say no, but maybe you can repent. Because the only person who can change is the cheater. No one else can change that person.
Yeah, I'm on the fence on that. I think you get a taste of what you're missing. You could change. Like if you have kids and you're like, oh, I don't like being
You
away
realize
from the kids.
how badly you screwed up.
Like the pain of not seeing them every day would suck. But I think a part of me says if you did it once, that it's easy to do it twice.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're like, especially like we have friends that they cheat on their wives and their wives took them back.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I got a free card. I can do whatever I want. She already took me back once, twice.
Because you face that crossroad whether to cheat or not, and you chose the path to cheat.
It's
It's not like something you fell into by accident. It's like there
No,
could have been some planning into it, a lot of
Well-
thought into it to really go through with it.
to your point. It goes to what social cues are you giving out when you're out, like say a team function, like in my industry where you're meeting a real estate company or a title company or something, and you're having drinks, having fun, blah blah blah, and that person, like what's vibes are you sending out? Are you high fiving? Are you hugging? Longer hug? Brushing your cheek on their cheek on purpose? Little cues where like, oh, this guy's, oh, you smell good. Oh, thank you. My wife picked it out. Is what I say. Like when I never get in trouble. Anytime someone says anything as a compliment, like, oh, it's a nice shirt. Oh, my wife picked it out. Oh, you're married? Yeah, I get that out right away. Boom, happily married, I say.
Yep.
Happily married. 2 kids. Here you go. Hey, look at my phone. Boom, I got my kids right there.
With your family, right?
Always. I right off the bat don't want to get in trouble.
Entertain the thought of flirting with someone else.
No, I love my kids way too much. I love my wife too, even though she doesn't believe that. But no, I'm super happy with my life, and I can never do that. Not just to my wife, but to my kids. Dude, my daughter's awesome. My son's a stud. Like I'm happy. I couldn't imagine only seeing him on the weekends or every other week. So That's where I am.
Yeah. On next subject.
What else we got?
I just clicked on something. Hold on, where'd it go? I hate this
Oh,
website so much.
I want to talk about this. This is big.
I can. Hold on.
Well, let's just at least talk about it.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it.
This week, what happened during the week? We had two big people, big deals at their networks, right? Well, I know one for sure. Tucker Carlson at Fox was a big deal. Big deal. Right? What are we watching? A trailer? Fatal Attraction? We were just talking about that. The internet's crazy. We were just talking about cheating, and the first commercial was a Fatal Attraction video for Paramount or whatever, which I'm going to watch. It looks good.
Yeah, sorry. Some of these websites, they just
They
play the
suck.
trailers right away. It's freaking annoying.
All right,
Okay,
so
this one.
let's go Tucker Carlson first. Tucker's got let go. Sexual, I don't know if it's sexual harassment was it. Just poor working conditions, made people's lives hell. No merit to that, supposedly, from Fox, but
Did it have anything to do with the lawsuit with Dominion?
100% with Dominion, I think. I think the Dominion lawsuit, if you don't know what that is, you should look it up. It's the voting systems, right? Dominion voting systems. Like, he was just saying the truth. There's a big lawsuit, and I don't know how they got sued, whatever. Tucker Carlson's big, though. He was so big for Fox, so big that once that happened, their stock went down.
Right.
Which is crazy, which, normally someone popular, when that happens, it goes down. Why did the opposite happen for Don Lemon? Don Lemon gets fired, not mutual left like Tucker. He got fired, and he had to find out from his publicist or something. Immediately when his agent found out and the information came out, CNN stock went up. That means they hated him.
Yeah, viewers did not like him.
Viewers did not like Don Lemon.
I mean, the last thing he said was on that morning TV show. He was criticizing women.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was
Yeah.
like women in their prime. I think he had it confused.
Yeah. He's a confusing
women
guy.
in their prime, like, like sexually making kids and their ability to have kids versus their prime in their careers. So I think,
Maybe was he talking about looks?
yeah, that's
Women in their prime.
Yeah, but the conversation was about politics and the career, but he was confused. But when he was saying prime, he probably got it mixed up from what he saw on the internet about women in the prime with their ability to have children and whatnot. And the prime to find a date and so on.
Okay, let's put you on the spot. What's women's prime?
What are you talking about? The career or
Dating.
Dating?
We're going to get so many comments on this one.
I know people are going to hate us. What's the woman's situation? What do they bring to the table, really? And what is the other woman looking for? Is the woman is looking for the 10, the tall, handsome, rich, funny guy. And how old is that woman? She's still young. Does she have kids with someone else? What does she look physically? Is she overweight?
Yeah. Well, it depends on. There's so many variables. There's so many variables because what you're saying is like, does she have other kids? Like, let's be honest. Like the successful doctor type,
The rich, handsome, funny guy is not looking for single mothers. I'm sorry.
He doesn't want to take care of someone else because he barely wants to take care of you. Because he thinks
he has options.
He has options.
If he's a 10, he has options.
Correct.
And one of them a single mother? I don't know.
Even if you're like, you can be a hot single mother on here and disagree with that, but that's the truth.
Because for men,
That's
it's
the
about
truth.
resources and how they allocate the resources.
Correct.
They want to allocate the resources to only their family, their blood, their children.
Yeah.
Not someone else's kid.
Correct.
So,
Correct. I would agree on you with that. There is some guys that
willing to do that.
are willing to do that. So there is guys, but the majority, I would agree with you.
I'm not downing those guys by any
No,
means.
it's because they probably don't want kids themselves. And then there's some that.
Or they had a great stepfather growing up too.
Correct. So there is great stepfathers out there and stepmothers. But you're right. You're right. But you still haven't answered the prime.
Like dating wise?
Dating wise, age.
Age? I think I just said, like, do they have kids? That's a variable. Like, are they overweight? That's a variable.
Why is that a
Age?
variable? Because technically, if you're overweight, you have better. I don't want to say better skin. But you look
Are
younger.
men attracted to overweight women? Majority of men?
Some are.
Well, how big are we talking about?
Well, yeah, that's another question.
You know, how big are we talking about? And what's
Yeah.
considered overweight too?
Yeah, what's considered overweight? Great question.
It's just, and weight, you know, I like what I meant prefer muscle weight versus fat.
Depends. Yeah, again, too many variables.
Like overweight, like I kind of understand like a few extra pounds of weight because especially if they're hitting the gym, like they're making the effort. And I understand stubborn fat too.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. But some people who are overweight is also a reflection of who they are. They don't
Yeah.
do anything. They eat crap all the time. They're unhealthy. And you don't want to be around that. If you're
They
someone
don't
who
have
tries
someone
to be
that's
healthy,
holding them accountable.
they have themselves to be accountable.
Yeah, but sometimes, and we've seen it before, they meet someone, that person holds them accountable, and you turn they change. Their habits, they're happy they have someone, their habits are changing, and they start going to a different lifestyle. It happens.
If they're happy that they're helping them change that habit.
Yeah, it happens. I'll
Some
tell you.
people
I'll
say
tell you
you
after.
should-
I'll tell you after the show who that is, and it's a success story.
Some of them will tell you, don't, you know, you should accept me for who I am.
Yeah,
We've heard that a lot too. Well, okay, I accept you, but it doesn't mean I need to be attracted to date you
it
anymore.
depends when. What you just said, accept me for who I am. If you're dating, that's one thing. If you're married, that's a different thing, right? If you're married, you can work through that. But if you're just dating, and a guy or a girl says we're not the same, so I didn't say the vows, so I'm out. I opt out of this contract or whatever. But no, I think prime, and I'll throw it out there. I think prime is under 40.
Is it
And
childbearing
here's
ages?
why. Yes, it's childbearing ages, and I'm looking at it as scope as a working man wanting to work on having a family, at least one kid of my own. So I don't want to go over 40. If that's the scenario I'm in.
You know, some people don't want children.
Then
Small group.
then prime goes up a lot, right? I mean, there is no real. I mean, I'm just going off of what a guy would want. If I'm wanting to start a family, I want someone under 40, and preferably someone probably around 35 to 37, so I can pop out too. That'd be if I was single man in my 50s. That's what I would look for. Remember we talked about the 10-year gap.
Sure.
10-year gap is about as much as you can go. But, you know, we have friends that are 20 years gap, which is crazy to me, but whatever. But that's what I would think prime is as far as dating. Working, I mean, shoot, you have women working in their 60s that are still go-getters. They're still doing it. So is there a prime? I would say prime is probably 30 to 50 is prime.
30 to 50, what? So they're not
In sales, like if they're doing sales or like career,
for their careers?
yeah, because you need those first couple like years, maybe up to 10 years to learn your craft, and then to be a go getter, right? So I think you have to be in your early 30s to be that go getter, and higher up people, they're well in their 40s, early 50s, and they're still at a high octane level. So that's your prime. After that, you start, wanting to relax more, do less, because you're at the second half of your story. So you don't want to work as hard, and you shouldn't have to, but that's just through my lens, what I see.
Yeah. And what's a challenge for women, unfortunately, is that when they're trying to work on their careers and move up the corporate ladder or make more money, they have to sacrifice on whether they want to have kids or not.
And
And it's an unfortunate thing.
yeah, it is, but that's why I think they're harder workers, because having kids and being the mother and father are two different things. Father, like, yay, planting my seed, you're popping them out. Like, you're knocking a year off their
You're
life.
expected as the man to bring those resources, though.
Yeah, but I mean, this is 2000s now. I mean, women do make as much as men in certain industries.
Well, yeah, although they make as much.
Yeah,
The
and
expectations are still there.
the expectations at the end of the day,
What the man
yeah,
expects
yeah,
from the woman and what the woman expects from the man.
yeah, because feminism does not exist, especially like war. You know, like
Yeah, remember the Titanic didn't have
yeah,
any feminists?
yeah, yeah. There's no feminists on the Titanic, you know, because they're like women, children first. Just like the war in Ukraine. If you're a man, ages what, 16 to
It's like
48 or 50.
yeah, fighting age at least, right?
If you're fighting age, you're not going anywhere. You're a woman or child, yeah, go ahead and party in Poland. Go hang out. You're refugees of the war. We celebrate you. But the men, they're getting blown to bits. There's no feminism at that point. So, I don't know. But
I'm sure someone in the comments is just gonna yell at us, but bring it on. We want to
Yeah.
hear. We want to hear a perspective. I know it's most likely gonna be a troll, but we'll hear it.
love trolls. What's next?
That's it, actually.
That's
all I
it?
have.
Awesome. Great
Well,
show.
We're at 2 hours and 30 minutes.
So it went over 30 minutes. You're welcome. Bonus footage. So, we'll what else is on you? Oh, real quick, Jerry Springer died.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So we'll just knock that out. Dodgeball 2 was announced. Wanted to talk about that. Not really, because it's not going to be good.
Is this supposed to be like a professional league or some kind?
No, Dodgeball
Mainstream?
2, the Ben Stiller movie,
Oh, I'm sorry.
20 years
Okay, a
ago.
movie.
That's been a while, so that's not going to do well. What movie are you excited about that's coming out? Summertime is where all the movies come out.
I saw the Flash trailer. I look forward to that.
You're looking forward to the Flash?
Mm-hmm.
I have that written down too. Flash is what I'm excited for. I want to see how they do that.
Okay. Do we have time to talk about the James Gunn potential DC universe? If you
We
think
have
it's going to work?
plenty of time. Go ahead.
So, James Gunn, I mean, huge changes. Got rid of Henry Cavill. The Rock is gone.
It's going to fail.
You think DC universe under James Gunn it's going to fail?
It's going to fail.
It
I'm
looked pretty
really
good.
I'm really looking forward to Beetle
Blue Beetle, right?
to change their narrative. I think he has to bring in new characters for it to succeed.
Well, he needs to bring in a younger crowd that's going to be around for, younger set of actors who's going to be around for the next 20 years.
Easily 10 to 15,
10
like
to
Marvel did. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Like
why I
Marvel
think Blue Beetle's going to be good. Then he's going to have to recast everyone else.
So the new Superman's going to be a tough one. That's
I'm not buying it. I'm so mad.
it's
You
too
got
early
rid-
to judge on the next Superman.
It is, but it's not. Not for me. You got rid of the best Superman.
Henry Cavill was the best.
He was
Superman.
awesome.
He was so good.
He could still play that, and you guys scrapped it.
Especially now with CGI, you can make people look younger a little bit.
And I started to like Ben Affleck as Batman too.
I was too. You know what?
I wanted to see
I
a Batman movie
I
with
did
him
like Ben Affleck. A lot of people didn't like him as Batman. I
because they're
accepted him.
haters. They're haters.
He wasn't Christian Bale. That's why.
Well, Christian Bale was awesome.
Well, Christian Bale was awesome.
That
that's
first
why.
Batman movie was awesome.
I know. I love that trilogy of Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Really good. Like, how do you top that for your next Batman movies? I mean, with what was his name? Or who's playing Batman now?
The Twilight guy, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
you liking him?
I don't.
That's tough. Man. I'm
I don't
sorry.
because I was getting into Ben Affleck, and then you cut him for this guy, which is a darker.
Well, it's supposed to be a younger version of Batman, though, right? You still have Ben Affleck for the older days of Batman.
Yeah. I guess I could go on that. He was too emo for me. I don't know. I gotta see what the sequel does and how they bring in a Joker, but
The Penguin, though.
he
Bell,
has his own movie or series coming out.
he's new series. I will watch that. I thought
Yeah.
he did great as a Penguin.
The origins of Penguin would be kind of cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they did that, they did a show, Gotham.
Does
show.
James Gunn have any say in the Batman movies?
James Gunn is going to have say in all of it, I thought, except the Robert Pattinson Batman.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's
what I thought.
separate from the Gunn universe.
So the breaking point is Superman.
You lost me at Superman.
Whomever he casts,
It's I wish
be a
you the best of
surprise.
luck. I wish you the best of luck.
but that will define his career as a co-CEO of the DC universe.
Yes,
Like, can you find someone better than him?
and he could succeed. I could see him succeeding. I'm telling you, if they get Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, and some of these other characters that they have not done movies for, Green Lantern. Like, let's get a real Green Lantern. Like,
A good Green Lantern movie. 'Cause
Yes.
There's been some bad ones.
well, Ryan Reynolds was horrible.
That was bad.
He'll tell you that too. I think it's just more the CGI or the special effects ruined it.
I think people are just pushing because there's this character and comic book movies were hot. But you have to make them count now. You have to make them good.
They have to count. Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out in a couple of days. That's going to be interesting.
That's James Gunn's last
Marvel movie.
'cause he's-
I'll go see it. I want to see how that ends. That's going to be interesting. I think they're going to screw up with one of the characters.
Now, I worry about James Gunn's formula with these DC movies is going to make it like Marvel, where there's some comedy in there and there's a good pace of you see the hero, funny jokes, they go after the bad guy, they lose, they re-strategize, they build up, they get confidence, and they win in the end.
Well, what did you think of this? Didn't Gunn do the John Cena shows?
Yes. What is that? What is that show?
I forgot.
On,
Look it up real
Suicide
quick.
Squad?
He's a Suicide Squad character. I saw him kind of out there, but it's totally not kid friendly. But I kind of think you need those kind of shows like The Boys, Peacemaker,
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. Yes, interesting. Is all I can say.
Age though.
He is getting up there in age. He is 47, 46. But he can still play that role. I mean,
Another 10 years?
yeah, why not?
I mean, with CGI and whatnot, they can make
Why
him
not?
younger.
I don't think they'll do movies. They might. I think he's going to be more HBO Max.
TV show? I like the TV show.
Yeah, I mean, because you have more episodes and you can build characters in the show instead of just throwing a 2-hour movie out there and trying to figure out the backstory of what he is or what they did. So,
What's a good pace for DC then? 2 movies a year and a TV show?
2 and 2.
2 and 2?
2 and 2.
So,
1 in each quarter. Like you do a
so
TV
you
show
have
in
to have a
January.
movie- you have to have a movie in the summer. One in a movie in Christmas time, and the fall and spring TV show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because you want to be out there. You want to have your universe out there and building it. And you know what's hard is Marvel did it right with the end credits. They give you a little piece of what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, I wish they stopped that.
You don't like them?
I don't
Nope.
want to just wait through it now. Because now they do 2 of them. One in the middle of the credits,
Well, it's a mid-credit scene and an end-credit scene.
and then very end.
I like it. I like them. That's where
Why
we
not
differ.
just put a YouTube video 2 weeks after
Later?
it's over?
Yeah. You could do that. But, yeah, they want you to stay through the whole movie.
I don't get it. I
Yep.
don't know why.
All right, so we'll see what Gunn does, and we'll go from there. I'll probably end up watching
What comes out first, The Flash or Blue Beetle?
Slash comes out first.
All right, I'll definitely watch that.
And-
Let's make a review episode for that.
Well, Guardians comes out Friday, so I want to go see that.
You want to watch it and then immediately do a review?
We'll do a special review right after.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that'd be smart to do. That's pretty much it. So, same BS as always. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, just so we can be in your head. And that's pretty much it. Please leave some comments. Tell us what you want us to talk about. If there's a place you want us to try, something to review. We like to go out and eat. We like to go watch movies and shows and stuff like that. So this is me signing off. And Danny, go ahead and sign off.
Yeah. We're also on iTunes and Spotify.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We're on iTunes and Spotify.
We're still working on social media. We're posting some on Facebook. We'll work on Instagram. We'll work on Twitter, maybe TikTok. Although TikTok is very popular, but I feel it's essential. But
Yeah, we'll start TikTok. We just need a burner phone for that.
so China doesn't have our
I don't
information.
trust Chinese on that.
Yeah.
I barely trust them with my Chinese food.
Yeah. Anyway, signing off. Go ahead, Luke.
All right, till next time. Peace.